Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Mining for All. I have millions of gold miners. Chapter 61. Congratulations to your Chenkin for successfully killing all enemies such as wolves and ghouls. Instant death, including its leader, reduces your wealth by 500 points. The special effects of local tyrants have attracted the attention of the quartet, coupled with the brutality of the piranha. Many secretly peeping enemies are trembling, and they dare not attack tonight. The jingling sound of money quickly disappearing rang out in Yi Bai's ears. Almost 500 caddies of gold disappeared. He is both heartbroken and powerful. It really deserves to be a sky-high skill, and it is indeed worth every penny. The money offensive will be treated equally. Whether you are a boss or a miscellaneous soldier, you must face the damage head-on. It is useless to have various defensive skills, and can only rely on the blood bar to fight recklessly. It's too expensive. Even the wealth of my family can't be used. After all, it can only be used as a trick to press the bottom of the box. Yi Bai, who had a general understanding in his heart, greeted Leopard first and others to deal with the corpses. Don't want carrion like corpse eaters, and throw them to piranhas as fertilizer. Anyway, they have no taboos. Quote, Piranha was extremely satisfied with this decision and enjoyed the supper. Follow the new owner and eat 4 meals a day. In the evening, I bought so much meat again, and the little cook was busy. And the night owl staring at the wealth list in the middle of the night was surprised to find that Yi Bai's wealth fluctuated up and down, and it was still skyrocketing. But the overall is still rising rapidly, driven by rising. He quickly surpassed 20,000 points and barely recovered his vitality. Reminder, your gold miners worked overtime all night and successfully salvaged a small mountain of gold. You are rich. Reminder, due to the disturbance in the middle of the night, the gold miners accidentally dug a hibernating black bear underground. Leopard Head and Grandpa Drill teamed up to kill the big black bear. Leopard Head was promoted to Bronze Warrior, and his strength was greatly improved. Alice will share the pressure for you and bring the 5 lucky cats to find a hidden gold mine in the territory. All of them are 100% pure gold. Work overtime at night. It took a total of 4 hours, and the wealth value finally reached 100,000 points. Return to 1/5 of the previous level. One of the biggest contributors is to attract wealth, and its auspiciousness plays a great role. Alice took it. Basically wherever you go, there are treasures. Yi Bai found that the further back he went, the less efficient the miners were and the more accidents there were. So I greeted the little cook to serve the supper soup and let everyone rest early. Working overtime is still too exhausting, and I don't know if it will affect morale. But this time, the situation is special and there is no way. Soon after, Yi Bai explained this to Alice. I know, grandpas can understand. The mine owner brother should have an early rest tonight, and he has to travel far tomorrow. Alice smiled and waved goodbye, then turned to take a shower. Except for the staff on shift tonight, everyone slept very deeply. Really tired after all. Before Yi Bai went to sleep, he decided which skill the unlimited skill scroll would use. Use it on the glitter fruit itself. Whether it is 3-color domineering, or skills such as Galaxy Star Burst. The cornerstone of all lies in my own strength. And my strongest advantage at present is the elementalization and the speed of light provided by the fruit. Of course, to maximize the longest point. After confirming, Yi Bai sat cross-legged on the bed. Hold the scroll and use it decisively. Use the upgrade scroll to improve the talent of the glitter fruit. As the scroll turned into a puff of blue smoke and blew into Yi Bai's body, infinite light burst out. Awakening glitter fruit. Yi Bai bet right. The excavation of fruit ability is comprehensive. After synthesizing all his current aura, spirit, and other abilities, he fed back the fruit itself. This awakening is long. Throughout the dark night, Yi Bai's body was quietly transformed. Outside the mine, the monsters shivered. The nearby monsters have packed up and planned to run away from home. This newly established mine is regarded as a forbidden place by the monsters. Therefore, the employees have a good rest, and Zawan deliberately prepares a medicated diet to restore physical strength. This night, everyone got the best rest. When the sun rose on the last day, Yi Bai slowly opened his eyes with the morning light. I saw that at this moment, there was a faint radiance on his body, like a golden robe draped over his body. As bright as the sun god. He has undergone a reborn change, and he feels that the light coming from him is driven by an arm. The 100-meter field within the perception range can control the light. Its original penetration and speed of light abilities have been epically enhanced. And the awakening of the fruit obviously brings more than that. Congratulations on your successful use of scrolls, awakening glittering fruits. Congratulations on obtaining the field of light within the field, control light attacks at will. True speed of light by consuming physical strength, temporarily enter the field of speed of light to achieve a near teleport speed. Giant of light. In the primary stage, the final skill of the fruit transforms into an invincible warrior composed of light. On the basis of the original combat power, x 10 times. It can be continuously strengthened. Isn't the glitter fruit really in the form of Renren fruit, Phantom Beast, and Bump Man? After reading the details, Yi Bai felt stunned. He was sure that this time the scroll was in his best interest. Sensing the surrounding light at this moment, Yi Bai waved his hand, and the beams of light seemed to turn into a lightsaber and stood up. Nothing is indestructible, nothing is indestructible. As his thoughts passed through the wooden table beside him in an instant, leaving a transparent hole one by one. He didn't dare to experiment anymore, for fear that the entire mine would be demolished by himself. Yi Bai himself doesn't know how powerful he is after awakening. And today is the last day of the trial period. Including him, everyone is destined to explode. Chat room. It was boiling at 6 in the morning, and the gold diggers cheered. On the third day, according to past experience, the explosion rate will be greatly increased. The heart of the mountain, pure gold and silver, and even all kinds of mysterious treasures will have a significantly higher chance of appearing. Brothers, change your life against the sky today. Haha, the gain and the risk are the same. The increase in the explosion rate also means that the enemy also increases and the strength is strengthened. Everyone, please pay attention, before returning. There will be a boss to launch a final attack. According to statistics, 80% of people die on the last day of each trial. You can't relax until the last minute without a comeback. Otherwise, much wealth will be in vain. I don't know if there will be blood on the money list today. Yi Bai's unfortunate bankruptcy is the opportunity for reversal of the second generation of other mines. Settled immediately, and just when the crowd was bustling and noisy. Suddenly someone exclaimed, "Everyone, look at Johnson on the second list, how did he double his wealth in one night?" At present, it has reached more than 9,000 points, which is close to Boss Yi. Everyone looked at it quickly. Yi Bai also opened the list. I saw that the first place was still me, but the total number became 120,000 points. It should be the morning when the gold miners took time to pan for gold. But the second place Johnson. It was about 1,000 before, but now it is soaring at an amazing speed. Originally, not in the same order as Yi Bai. Now that he has also reached 10,000 points, he is qualified to challenge Yi Bai. Could it be that you were lucky to discover a super gold mine? Everyone quickly discovered the tricky. I saw only a few people on the leaderboard except Mulingwei and others. Many second-generation mines have fallen, and their wealth has almost returned to zero. Some people have calculated that the number of points lost by the second generation of other foreign mines is similar to that of Johnson. Many people from the Yan Kingdom rushed to their foreheads and know about his sleazy operation. Despicable, actually cheating, gathering dozens, hundreds of the wealth of the second generation of mines in one person. Just to compete for settlement rewards. Shameless. Did you find that there is still Ning Jing from the Penguin Boy who supports Johnson? Are you not from the Yan Kingdom? How can you help outsiders deal with fellow villagers? Don't you know that the rewards of the world will affect the fortune of the country? What was even more unacceptable to the gold diggers in the Yan Kingdom was that there were also Yan Kingdom people headed by Ning Jing who also supported Johnson. Haha, this is what you Orientals call the general trend. Might as well tell you, I knew a few of Ning Jing and the others long before the time traveled. After all, they are all top young people and naturally have their own circles. His family's penguins have a good foundation for cooperation with my Logan Consortium, and today his one-day harvest will be traded with me. Johnson is not ashamed, but proud, showing off his tricks. But under the scolding of the gold diggers of the Yan Kingdom, Ning Jing came out and said, Penguin Group is an international super company. It is not to serve one country, but to look at the blue star and two worlds. The choices I made did not betray anyone, but made the most reasonable plan for me. Quote, quote. This internationalist gesture made the Yan people even more angry. Mu Lingwei stood up in disgust. It's vain that I knew you before. I didn't expect to do a despicable thing that is not good for the country today. No matter how gorgeous your excuses are, you can't hide your ugly face when you raise your bowl to eat and put down your bowl to curse your mother. Her burst of madness caused other Yangguo mine owners who rejected Johnson, Li Wanghao, to respond immediately. Many people still have righteousness in their hearts, and people like Ning Jing are a minority after all. Yi Bai still remembered that Ning Jing's Zhang friend and businessman contacted him not long ago, expressing that he could cooperate. Unexpectedly, the other party would do such a rude operation. Seeing that Johnson's group of foreign mine owners became more and more arrogant, Yi Bai replied, "Do you know that we have a saying in the East that the man's arm acts as a chariot and is beyond its own power? Originally I didn't want you to lose so badly, but in the end, you were better off yourself, and the principal was overwhelmed. I don't know how many benefits you promised to hundreds of big mine owners, and let them all invest in you. If I don't teach you a lesson today, you don't even know how to write dead words." The master responded, and the channel suddenly exploded in popularity again. Many people watch the fun and don't think it's a big deal. Johnson said suddenly, "Since the gold miner is so confident, well then, why don't we make a personal bet? Just before returning today, whoever gains the most this time will take all the wealth of the other party, including mined gold, silver, diamonds, and even all kinds of cards, pets, personnel and more. I'll ask you, dare to gamble?" Boom. In an instant, the already boiling chat room was completely exploded. No one expected the two sides to play so big at once. This is a life gamble. It's not just about a settlement victory. Instead, it is a super gamble on personal fate and national honor. What made Mu Lingwei and others even more uneasy was that the other party seemed to be provocative. There was something weird about this from beginning to end. Yi Bai, don't agree, you are cheating. I know Johnson, he's the kind of viper who kills when he strikes. I must have the confidence to tell you that. Yi Bai was also surprised by Johnson's audacity. Where did he get the courage? He had just woken up and was not afraid of Johnson's challenge. How do you calculate the total gain, you say? If I just follow the wealth on the list, INS rank cards are not counted. Seeing Yi Bai's answer, Johnson got excited and replied decisively. Of course, it is not just the competition according to the wealth list, but the signing of a personal contract under the appraisal of the will of the world. From this, it can determine what treasures both sides have, and this is called a comprehensive competition. If you want to play, play big, only the last day. As the first person in the Yan Kingdom, do you dare? There was a bit of silence in the chat room for a while. Many young people who rushed to the top wanted Yi Bai to take over decisively. But more people are thinking, Johnson does not play, no chance of winning. Johnson has contacted so many people, plus he is the son of a consortium. There are tricks, and there may be a treasure map with a high level and a general level of danger. He has been planning for a long time, and he wants to ruin my future. Quote. Yi Bai secretly calculated in his heart and guessed the truth of the matter. I promise, but the contract must be signed under the appraisal of the world's will. At the same time, you can no longer cheat through the trading method of selling low and buying high, you can only rely on yourself. Yi Bai's reply. If the big Ivan was thrown into the sea, it completely ignited the enthusiasm of everyone. I had no idea he was so brave. Yi Bai has never underestimated others, and his confidence is the Devil's Great Rift on the SSS level map. Even if you have any treasure, you can't be stronger than the most advanced SSS class. No matter how bad it is, there is still a guaranteed SS level Dragon Cave. After a throw, there is a chance to empty the Dragon Cave. Yi Bai's promise made Johnson overjoyed, but Mu Lingwei wanted to persuade, but it was too late. Johnson's bet made Yi Bai's idea even more firm. He spent all his wealth to buy one thing, wasn't it just for the Devil's Great Rift? And just as the two read their solemn oath, a special world announcement sounded. The World Pledge. Gold mine owner Yi Bai and Logan Mine Johnson officially signed a super gambling contract. The two will settle the many treasures they have acquired before returning, including but not limited to cards, mysterious props, etc. Its value will be supervised and accounted for by the will of the world. During the gambling contract, the two cannot use any cheating methods to allow others to trade treasures. Only by yourself. The game will open in 8 hours, and the loser will lose everything, including mines, territories, employees. The winner will get everything. Appraiser. The will of the underground world, absolutely fair and just. This special announcement is 100 times more sensational than all the previous announcements. Everyone is boiling. Whether it is the people of the Yan Kingdom, or the Lighthouse people, CJBF, the Cherry Blossom people, the Kimchi people, and even the gold diggers from other countries cheered. Someone is betting on who will win. Haha, after all, they are upstarts and don't know our methods. Congratulations, John, and remember to promise to pay back tenfold the wealth I gave you before. Quote. After the oath is established, Johnson's group stopped covering up and laughed wildly. Mudlegs, today I will give you a lesson that will never be forgotten. But you have no future. Quote. The next moment, a sudden voice sounded. World announcement. Johnson uses S-class disposable props, the guidance of Goddess of Luck. You will get 100% the location and wealth of an S-level treasure. When the news came out, there was an uproar. Everyone finally knew the source of his previous confidence. The sky-high price of this type of props is no less than 50 billion star coins, and he has been hiding and using it now. Just to maximize profits, cheat people. The mine owner of the Lighthouse country, together with the Western allies, the people of the dog-legged Cherry Blossom country and the Kimchi country are clamoring wildly on the channel. The legendary S-class disposable item only appeared in textbooks. Haha, even if the Logan Consortium is reluctant to give it up, it must have been stolen by Johnson. Anyway, Johnson wins this time. The famous gold mine, with 100,000 tons of gold, and even the S-class staple food card, will have to be a wedding dress. On the other end, Muling Wei was in a bad mood. They want to ruin a super genius and ruin a country's luck for 10 years. Contrary to the anxiety imagined by the outside world, Yi Bai remained calm. It's just that he is more determined to go to the Devil's Great Rift. After solving the gold digger's business, Yi Bai just got up and greeted the new sun. And just went out and said hello to Alice. The oncoming luck will give you a super big surprise. Congratulations, the 5 fortune lucky cats triggered a super adventure event. I don't know where to turn a lost girl back for you, please treat her kindly. The Maneki cat with white hooves and white hooves carried a maiden with a dignified look, who was about the same age as the little cook, maybe even younger than her. The girl's skin is not as white as Alice, but a healthy bronze color, with brown hair and feathers. There are 6 black and white bizarre lines on his face. Wearing a small breathable leather armor, his face is full of curiosity and vitality. A little girl full of Indian primitive style. Yi Bai is a little silly, good guy. After the upgrade, the ability to attract money is getting bigger and bigger. A little girl will be kidnapped. Where did this come from? When Alice and the little cook saw the new little sister, they quickly stepped forward and asked. Little sister, how come you are so young? What about the rest of the family? The bronze-colored girl looks very lively. Not afraid of life at all, he bent down, raised his hands to attract wealth, and said with a smile. My name is Maya, from a great city of the Sun King. But I got lost in the hunt not long ago, sleepy and hungry in the dark night. Just when I thought I was going to die, this lucky beast came to me and brought me here. Speaking of which, Maya's stomach began to growl. Zawan was busy taking out the freshly picked pears, crystal grapes, Kirin watermelon and other fruits from the kitchen. You eat slowly, this was planted last night and picked up in the morning when it matures. Fruits of different colors are nourished by the soil of Tai Chi, which is full of aura. This primordial Mayan girl grabbed the fruit with one hand and ate it quickly. A pair of black pupils were full of surprise, their mouths were full of food, and they were still praising them. My cat is incredible and will bring people over knowing that there is a shortage of manpower. I will try to pack a princess for me in the future. Yi Bai began to communicate with Maya, and at the same time, he checked the panel. Name, Princess Maya. Affiliation, none. Lost contact with Sun King City. Level, Advanced Bronze. Attributes, Strength 100, Spirit 250, Constitution 80, Agility 160. Occupation: Beast Tamer. Skill: Animal Affinity. Maya is naturally able to communicate with many animals, and makes each other feel good. Domesticated pets. Maya has a knack for taming animals into pets and mounts. Don't look down on it, sometimes you can form cavalry and play a strategic role. Closing parenthesis. Listen to the voice of all things. Maya is a legendary skill that only the royal family has a small chance of awakening in the city of the Sun King. Can hear and understand the voice of any animal or plant. Closing parenthesis, closing square bracket. Description: It seems to be a little princess who escaped from an ancient city-state. He was accidentally picked up by the 5 fortune lucky cat and brought back to the mine to keep. There is a mysterious plot hidden in it, and its potential is far from being developed. Maybe you should stay. Yi Bai was a little surprised, unable to see that the other party was a princess. Maya's lack of sympathy is really unexpected. Yi Bai won't let any talent go, and said directly, "Maya, you and my family have a destiny to attract wealth, and I can't find a place for you to come, so let's stay in the mine first." Yes, can you eat and drink? Come on, eat as much as you want. Just to help out sometimes. Don't you know how to tame animals? In the future, I will catch a few animals, and you will help me domesticate them into tools for pulling goods. Yi Bai didn't expect Maya to talk so well, so she agreed boldly. And the loyalty is not low, there are 70. Yi Bai always felt that it was the light of luck. The first task he gave Maya was to contact the mole group and pick a few gluttonous moles as regular employees. Yi Bai soon starts his daily summons again, and there are 2 gold miners waiting for him. A mid-level mine can summon an employee on a daily basis, and with the blessing of luck, the summons are doubled. Summon gold miners. As Yi Bai's words fell, along with the fall of 2 golden lights in the sky, 2 workers who were identical to Jack's grandpa appeared on the scene. One of them holds a hammer, and their muscles are powerful. One holds an architectural blueprint, and his temperament is different from that of the other brothers. Congratulations on your lucky explosion. You have successfully summoned special talents, Mario the Master of Life, and Grover the Master of Construction. Add 2 golden brothers, Grandpa Jack, all attributes plus 20%. The 2 who came this time turned out to be special talents, and Grandpa Jack is also on the way to super gods. Keep moving forward. Hey, welcome to the 2 new brothers. It seems, Zuan, you need to make more breakfast. Grandpa Jack and other old people greeted and welcomed. The 2 newlyweds were not there either, ready to eat breakfast. Zuan just broke back from the ground a long-tooth rice that was as long as a sword and jade, more than 1 meter long. The longya rice that I planted last night is cooked, so I will cook the porridge for everyone first. Everyone was eating breakfast in a special canteen hut, and Yi Bai also took this to check the attributes of the 2 newcomers. Name: Mario. Owner: Yi Bai. Staff number: 10. Loyalty: 100. Level: Bronze lower. Occupation: Miner, Craftsman. Attributes: Strength 100, Spirit 85, Constitution 80, Agility 85. Skills: Master Mining, Earth Breathing. Master of Life. Mario is a rare genius among the Golden Brothers, not only good at digging holes. At the same time, it can also manufacture various life tools, such as beds and chairs, and even various complex machines. Ingenious. Mario's hands are so ingenious. In the operation of fine work, the success rate is greatly increased, and various advanced materials can be modified. Closing parenthesis, closing square bracket. Wonderful. The arrival of Grandpa Mario can be regarded as making up for the shortcomings of life in the mine. No, when the people sat at the table and held up rough wooden bowls. Mario just shook his head for a while. Brothers, you have the best materials, but you haven't used them. The tools are all too rough and there are many everyday items missing. Quote. The crowd burst into laughter, and the leopard pointed to the warehouse not far away and said, "No, this old man came just in time. There is also a room of fur and wood hidden there, waiting for you to cook." Quote. Grover, who was on the side, observed the surrounding buildings and said the same. Looks like I'm here today, and I'm busy. The overall layout of the mine is fine, but the house is too rudimentary. Living and working areas are integrated. At the same time, the infrastructure is not finished yet. Quote, the attributes of Master Grover are similar to Mario's in general, except that there is one more talent skill. Architect. Grover is in the Golden Brothers, specializing in helping you build all kinds of houses and construction. Building speed plus 5 times, good at designing drawings. In the midst of chatting and laughing, the 3 newcomers were quickly accommodated. When Zawan brought a large pot of meat soup like pearls, everyone's throats twitched. Yi Bai was the first to take a bowl of hot porridge and drink it. At the moment of entry, the rice porridge turned into a stream of heat and soaked into the limbs and bones. He also knew why the Golden Dragon Tooth rice was judged to be an S-class staple food. Reminder. You will feel happy and swept away hunger by tasting the legendary food. All the fatigue from last night has been swept away, and today's state is fully blessed by 5%. Not only the recovery of spiritual energy, but also the abundance of his own energy. Eating longya rice for a long time will subtly improve your physique. You can upgrade without fighting monsters or panning for gold. No wonder the ancient dragon is regarded as a treasure. The others were also intoxicated, Maya, who had just eaten. The same holds a bowl of hot porridge to drink. The pearl rice I used to eat in Wangcheng is fertilizer compared to it. Reminder. All your employees feel happy because of the rare food. Plus 30%. Seeing that the atmosphere had arrived, Yi Bai deliberately said. Although the food is good, there are robbers targeting us. Even longya rice will be taken away. When he finished talking about the bet with Johnson, the audience really boiled. Including Zawan and Maya are full of righteous indignation, and the morale of all is high. Reminder. Because of your anger, under the oppression of the gambling contract. Today, the work efficiency of all employees has doubled. Yi Bai was overjoyed by this unexpected reminder. It's not too late, you all perform your duties today. Grandpa Martin continued to pan for gold with Tom and Leopard Head, and provided us with backup assistance. Maya goes to communicate with the mole. Food is not a problem, hire a few more moles. The new Grandpa Mario uses material cranes and excavators. Grandpa Gulliver asked Grandpa Drill to help build the mine together. I took Alice and Grandpa Jack personally to the big rift in the west today. After some explanations, the morale is like a rainbow. Everyone felt a sense of urgency and started to work. Announcement. Congratulations to Johnson for successfully digging a medium-sized gold mine, which is being mined. Reminder. Johnson hit the big luck and found a precious phoenix bloodstone, which has the effect of nirvana and is being mined. The reminders that came from time to time made Yi Bai feel a little bit of pressure. S-class props are extraordinary. He quickly summoned the silver-scaled pangolin and threw out a steak for breakfast. Take out the mysterious map. Only 8 of the above validity periods disappeared, and the devil's head at the end became more and more terrifying. What's very strange is that the endpoint will still move. It used to be a dozen kilometers away, but now it's 50 kilometers away. After today, I am afraid that the treasure will disappear completely. Mine owner brother, that crack should go deep into the ground. We'll go check it out later. There is really something good that requires a large excavation and calls for the others. Quote. Alice suggested after glancing at the map. Yi Bai nodded and greeted Grandpa Jack and Alice to sit on the pangolin. Then tell everyone, the minecart is left to you, and we will find the big treasure later, and we will bring the crane over to help. 5. Okay, the mine owner can rest assured. Leave the home to us, not to mention the fact that there are also cannibals. Quote. The gold miners are all motivated. Yi Bai nodded, waved his hand, and luckily jumped on his shoulder intimately. Yi Bai mounted the pangolin and commanded. Cross the small river valley and head west, taking care to avoid other monsters. Rumble. The silver-scaled pangolin is carrying 3 people and 1 cat, and its 4 hooves are striding with force. The huge body splashed with smoke and dust, and ran to the west. Cross the river along the way and gradually leave the vicinity of the territory. In order to prevent monsters without long eyes from coming to provoke, Yi Bai unleashed his domineering arrogance. Along the way, everything was fine. However, when passing through Bai Yin, everyone was careful. That big crocodile might still be hiding at the bottom of the river. Mine owner, we have to avoid it. Grandpa Jack still has lingering fears about the prehistoric crocodile. Yi Bai nodded. It is not a wise choice to meet it now. Strange, mine owner brother. I can vaguely feel the big crocodile. Its bloodline seems to come from the same source as mine. Just as she was leaving, Alice suddenly said suspiciously. Yi Bai raised his eyebrows. The source of Alice's transfer of Dragon Vein Sorcerer was the Dragon Bloodstone, and it was suspected that it came from the Dragon Cave. And where is such a coincidence near here? So many Dragonborn. Could it be that the two generations of hegemons, the prehistoric Emperor Crocodile and the Red-Winged Dragon, all rose after dividing up the legacy of the fallen dragon? This is kind of interesting. After avoiding the mainstream, the group carefully crossed over a narrow place. At this time, he had already left the mine 20 kilometers. Solemn reminder. You have left the novice zone and entered a more advanced territory, please proceed with caution. The ecosphere on the other side of the river is obviously quite ferocious, and even the ancient trees are uprooted. Squiggly ferns, spores of different colors. From time to time, there are hideous dinosaurs running over. For example, a group of monsters similar to raptors, seeing pangolins easy to bully. 0. One by one, they looked over their heads and looked at them curiously. Good, we're not malicious. Alice was delighted to see them, and reached out to try to communicate. Grandpa Jack looked at the surrounding virgin forest and muttered. How do I feel like we're entering prehistoric times, and the ferns here are so lush. And the oxygen is sufficient, no wonder they are all fat and strong, so big. No wonder Yi Bai felt familiar. It turned out to be the prehistoric ecology mentioned in the textbook. The surrounding ferns, ancient vines, and eating gold and rubbish are like crazy, growing like crazy. The deeper you go, the more magnificent the ancient tree grows. Giant trees of hundreds of meters are becoming more and more common, and the previous group of raptors ran away. Instead, a group of tyrannical dragons with a height of 5 or 6 meters, blue skin and thin front claws. If the group entered the kingdom of giants, it feels like everything around you is magnified. The pangolin, which was the dominant one in the area, shivered here. Any ordinary elite dinosaur can abuse it. And the group of tyrannical dragons seemed to be a little unkind, and they stared at the fat pangolin and began to test. Please note, you have entered the S-level undiscovered area, prehistoric Jurassic. No one has ever been here before, it is in a primitive ecology. Any giant beasts and dinosaurs may appear, please stay away as soon as possible. The red warning did not make Yi Bai timid. The textbook data shows that many areas in the underground world are prehistoric. It may have collapsed into the ground due to various reasons such as natural disasters. I didn't expect to get hit by one. Basically, this undeveloped land represents danger and wealth. Look at Grandpa, it's about golden grass, there are many, covering the whole cliff. Suddenly, Alice's sharp eyes. A large area of grass glittering with golden light was found in the corner. Grandpa Jack hurriedly turned his head to look. The golden grass is also called the golden grass, which often grows on the gold mines. Gold prospectors often use it to search for gold mines. But there were only 1 or 2 plants before, but now the golden grass covered the cliff makes Grandpa Jack stunned. I have been through most of my life, and I have never seen such a lush golden grass. The resources of this virgin forest are so good. If Martin, Tom and the others saw it, they would be very happy. This reminder did not interfere with Yi Bai's decision. He touched the lucky cat and said, Grandpa Jack and Alice, calm down first, the gold here will not escape. After all, it is a Jurassic map, and there are all kinds of treasures. We must not forget our purpose, but also to compete with others. Go through this forest first, so as not to dream too much at night. ... Yi Bai suddenly burst into a domineering look. He skillfully controlled the range, and after driving away the tempting tyrannical dragons. Drive the pangolins and hurry up. Pangolin trembling through the jungle. This virgin forest is really not easy to come without it. There are no roads, all kinds of adult high ferns and unknown jungles block the way. Alice was very fond of this virgin forest, and this unknown adventure made her heart surging, and she happily took off her hat and cheered. But Yi Bai, who was galloping, suddenly changed his face, and the high-level sight made him feel that a group of behemoths were approaching fast in front of him. Stop, go east and hide. The pangolin did not dare to neglect, and ran slowly to the east jungle. At the same time, it is extremely afraid of death to use talent. Under a giant tree, he quickly drilled a big hole and hid in it. After some operations, the 3 people who watched it were amazed. Looks like it's not the first time you've been hiding like this. They hid in the cave and carefully observed the ground movement. I saw that the ground began to shake, like an earthquake, and it continued to expand. A large group of Tyrannosaurus rex, the shortest 10 meters, whizzed past. They are like floods and beasts, wherever they go. The jungle of trees has been plowed. Crash. Even more terrifying is when the mountains are shaken with a wave. In the middle of the Tyrannosaurus rex, a super Tyrannosaurus rex with a height of 100 meters and dinosaur legs thicker than an elephant passed by. Not to mention strength, just this body type. The terrifying body of more than 100 tons can traverse the Jurassic. The dinosaurs here are too fierce, we just came in not long ago. With so many behemoths encountered, what is hidden in the deepest part? Alice probed. Looking up carefully, I only feel my heart surging. It's not time to provoke them now. After the group of Tyrannosaurus rex passed, a group of people walked out of the cave. The original place was razed to the ground, with the small dinosaurs in the way. Including the raptors, all become meat patties. Yi-Bai unfortunately collected in the past. Such a waste. Congratulations on your successful collection of indescribable chaotic meat mud X1000, dinosaur legs X50, dinosaur magic core X10. Even just picking up leeks can make a fortune. Not to mention the ancient medicinal herbs that can be found everywhere. 100-year-old medicinal material that is rarely seen in the outside world, a rare and exotic flower, is sparse and common here. This Jurassic is really a treasure. In the future, it would be best to provide raw materials as the back garden of our mine. 5. Yi-Bai mounted the pangolin again and took Alice and the others through the forest. There are many rare species here, as well as gold and silver everywhere on the earth. Even that group of dinosaurs has brute force. If the group of Tyrannosaurus rex just now were used by us, how much productivity would be liberated? I am afraid that a mountain will be leveled, and thousands of tons of rocks can be pulled away. Hundreds of tons of gold can be mined in one day. Quote. Listening to Yi-Bai's ambition, Grandpa Jack felt that the goal was a bit big. But he also felt the same. This prehistoric forest is just across a river from us. It is indeed the best source of materials. If the mine wants to grow and develop, it must occupy this treasure. Quote. Well, I can only do it slowly. The overlord here is not easy to mess with, but also be careful of the monsters on the river. Along the way through the giant tree, Yi-Bai also found a few small mammals, similar to the mouse. The silver-scaled pangolin, which was originally a big man in the outside world, shivered like an ordinary lizard here. If it wasn't for Yi-Bai's sense of sight, he could have detected the super dinosaur's breath in advance, and he would have avoided it early every time. Just being affected by the aftermath can kill them. I don't know how many kilometers this prehistoric forest covers. There are lakes, and there are long-necked dragons and snake dragons entrenched in the lakes. They also saw a scene of carnivorous dinosaurs hunting giraffes, which was very powerful and domineering. From time to time, pterosaurs whizzed past, preying on small dinosaurs on the ground. Yi-Bai didn't go into it, just passing by. But when it came to a messy place, the lucky cat hiding in his arms suddenly called out. Your pet reminds you that there is an unexpected harvest nearby. Stop. Yi-Bai rushed to the emergency brake. The silver-scaled pangolin thought it was going to drill a hole to hide again, so he slapped it with a slap. Towards the direction of fortune guidance. Standing on the head of the pangolin in a fortune-telling manner, it is incredible after evolution. As a group pet, the status is lofty. The pangolin hummed unhappily and carried them into a jungle. There seems to be a big battle here not long ago, the surrounding giant trees fell to the ground, the jungle was scorched. Green and red bloodstains remained on the ground. Alice suddenly frowned, smelling something strange from the smell of blood. It has dinosaur blood in it, and other dirty things mixed in, it's dirty. While observing, Grandpa Jack was suddenly surprised. There are tire marks on the ground. I saw in a grass, through the flattened marks, it is obvious that a lot of tire marks can be seen. And not just one or two. Didn't you say there are no signs of human activity here? What's going on? Yi-Bai was greatly surprised, and quickly thought of something. In addition to the blue stars, there are also aliens in the underground world itself. Some civilizations are highly developed. Also want to reverse the invasion of Blue Star. This treasure land seems to have been targeted just now. Yi Bai squinted to find clues around. One wave after another. Just after dividing this place into a back garden, unexpectedly someone stole chickens. Brother mine owner, come and see, there is a wounded thorn dragon here. Alice finds a survivor. The seriously injured thorn dragon fell to the ground with bullet hole marks on his body. This made Yi Bai frown instantly. It was a car, and it was a gun and ammunition. It seems that the strength of this wave of invaders is terrible. Congratulations on your successful discovery of the hidden plot of the prehistoric Jurassic. This forgotten land has recently had an uninvited guest, led by a natural disaster doctor. A group of people hunts dinosaurs, steals dinosaur eggs, and explores a new way of fusion between dinosaurs and people. They call themselves Dinosaur House, and want to dominate this prehistoric forest. Please note, the Dinosaur House and your sphere of influence overlap to a high degree. Naturally hostile, please be extra careful with their genetic modification, biotechnology, guns, etc. These two pieces of news made Yi Bai's heart skip a beat. One mountain cannot tolerate two tigers. The Dinosaur House seems to be the biggest enemy to conquer this map. At this moment, Zhao Kai jumped over, pulled out a shell from a corner, and sniffed it. Your pet brings you new clues, whether to follow the fortune, go to the base of Dinosaur House. Open the S-Class Hegemony main story mission, Dinosaur Fight. Forehead. Yi Bai looked at Lucky Fortune a little bit. Since it evolved, it will take the initiative to find S-level tasks for itself. However, he is currently going to complete the limited SSS task. He picked up the fortune and said, our collision with the Dinosaur House is the way to go, but there's no time to pay attention to them yet. When I come back from Blue Star, bring aid, and then compete with them. Quote. Zhao Kai understood his words, meowed, and put aside his thoughts for the time being. Reminder. You have temporarily put the S-level main quest on hold, but as long as you want to roam in the prehistoric Jurassic, you will definitely collide with the Dinosaur House. Leave here first, and have a chance to find this group of hunters. I'm rather interested in their genetic modification. Quote. Yi Bai beckoned, took Alice and the others away from here, and quickly approached the Devil's Great Rift. I don't want the mine owner brother to become a monster with a dinosaur head in the future. Alice, who was holding Yi Bai behind her back, muttered softly. They were so cruel to the dinosaurs. I saw quite a few stumps just now, as well as some monster bodies. They should have captured the dinosaurs alive and brought them back for research. Try to fuse different dinosaur species to create the strongest dinosaur king. They are against humanity. Maybe because of the conflict of natural positions, Grandpa Jack didn't like them either, and hated them deeply. Well, play with them in the future. There will be no danger along the way. Advanced knowledge is far stronger and more practical than Yi Bai imagined. He at least felt the breath of gold bosses, top silver dinosaurs, and even top gold and platinum bosses in the forest. But often in a long distance, he noticed it in advance and made the pangolin change its direction. Like an unpredictable prophet, it escaped the dangers of dinosaur migration, Tyrannosaurus siege, and pterosaur raids from the air. Does my brother have the ability to predict? Alice was amazed, her eyes full of little stars of worship. Yi Bai burst out laughing after hearing this, with the air of a cicada untouched by the autumn wind. And as it got closer to the destination, the human skin map in his hand also appeared strange. A golden route stretches out from the end. The three of them felt that the air around them was a little cold, and the wind seemed to be mixed with other things, which felt strange. Yi Bai took a deep breath and looked for the source of the problem through seeing, and seeing. Quickly cast in one direction. There was a faintly visible streak of darkness that penetrated the two worlds, and strands of black energy that ordinary people could not see emanated from it. Infecting the surrounding area, it is depressing. Serious warning. You are close to the Devil's Great Rift on SSS level difficulty. Infected by the demonic energy of the Big Rift, he turned into an S-rank Jedi in a radius of 10 kilometers. Some monsters are demonized, please be careful. Friendly reminder, it is recommended to stay away from danger. Even more striking than before, 3 huge red exclamation mark warnings appeared in front of Yi Bai. It was announced that the previous article was no trivial matter, and even the ground was dyed black and red, revealing a strangeness. The lucky cat screamed strangely, with a gleaming lucky halo on its body, and lay in Yi Bai's arms to drive away bad luck. Alice and the two cast inquiring eyes, but Yi Bai's eyes did not change. Let's go, but you have to eat a clover first. When the buff is filled up, I have confidence in my heart. Yi Bai is now rich and powerful. Not only 3 people ate 4-leaf clover, but also pangolins. As for making money, it doesn't matter. It is already immune to such low-level props. And Meow Meow said that if the owner is willing to take out the 5-leaf clover, then it is willing to taste it. Forget it. After the preparations, Yi Bai led them in carefully. In order to prevent the infection of the demonic energy, he also used the domineering energy to create a circle around them. Like a filter, it isolates harmful substances. And the previous domineering can't be so fine. Roar! Suddenly, a rotten zombie wolf sprang out from the withered grass on the side, and rushed towards the group like crazy. The mind is so crazy that even the fear disappears. Yi Bai focused his attention and forcibly pressed his overlord energy towards the zombie wolf. The air was almost solidified, and the substantive domineering aura caused the zombie wolf's eyes to spread, and his heart stopped and he died instantly. The demonized monster seems to have a strong defense against the spiritual space. Yi Bai was thoughtful, and it seemed that he couldn't rely too much on the overlord clear-cut kill. Congratulations on successfully killing a demonized zombie wolf in 1 second, obtaining a wisp of magic energy, which is being absorbed by you. After the zombie wolf died, nothing was left, and it instantly turned into fly ash and disappeared. Instead, a wisp of black air floated out and was absorbed by Yi Bai. He was surprised to find that just a single strand of demonic energy made his body slightly evolve. The awakened devil fruit is in urgent need of energy replenishment, but I didn't expect the magic energy to come just right. This kind of magic energy is high-quality aura. As experience, this place is simply a 10-fold upgrade. I don't know if Alice and Grandpa Jack can absorb it. Yi Bai is becoming more and more interested in goals, and Yuba alone has such benefits. Alice, you also decapitate the demonic object and see if you can absorb the demonic energy. The monsters here don't need to be found by themselves, they just relax their domineering a little, and suddenly their eyes rush towards them. A magic leopard with black aura all over his body wanted to sneak attack. Unexpectedly, it was sung by Alice, and it exploded in the air. Its power made Yi Bai look at him, and he had neglected Alice's fighting power too much. As a dragon vein warlock, Alice's strength is second in the mine. In particular, the firepower is strong, and it can blast a hill by itself. Your employee Alice absorbs the magic energy, and her spirit is slightly strengthened. The results are delightful. After the demonic energy has passed through a host, the purified energy is harmless to the human body. Yi Bai suddenly laughed, and immediately put away the overlord color, deliberately showing weakness. At the same time, use the domineering look and feel to find the place where the monsters gather. I'm going to scour this place. There are many demons in the 10 kilometers, and groups of zombie wolves and leopards are coming. But I saw a golden light on Yi Bai's body, and the field of light spread. The original black and red land was covered by brilliance, and he was the master of this place. The original wisps of light seemed to have turned into lightsabers. I saw that with Yi Bai's finger gently picking, like 1,000 swords returning to their ancestors. A lightsaber instantly slashed at the surrounding monsters. With the interlaced light and shadow, the sword energy is vertical and horizontal. In less than a second, hundreds of demons fell to the ground and turned into fly ashes. Come on, Alice, Grandpa Jack, keep it for you. Yi Bai let go of a few badly wounded demons, and the two of them excitedly used their own methods to kill them. You are killing monsters in large quantities, your whole body is strengthened, and you are one step closer to breakthrough. Since the awakening fruit, Yi Bai found that the experience bar needed to level up is getting longer and longer, which is estimated to be 100 times that of ordinary people. But now, with the blessing of tenfold experience, he jumped a lot, and seeing that he was about to break through again, Yi Bai was overjoyed with a smile. It gave me a big surprise before it arrived, not bad. Next, around the big rift, a group of people deliberately killed monsters. It was the other two who broke through faster than him. Ding! Congratulations to Grandpa Jack for his successful promotion to Advanced Bronze, awakening a new skill, 10 times faster. Ding! Congratulations to Alice for successfully being promoted to Advanced Bronze and awakening a new ability, Qian Dragon Breath. Bang! Alice opened her mouth in surprise and spewed out a dragon breath in the shape of a fire dragon. In an instant, the 10 black lions in front of him were burnt to ashes. Even the rocks and soil were burned and collapsed and turned into crystals. What a powerful skill, Alice! Your dragon breath temperature exceeds 2000 degrees, even iron can melt, and there are special effects. Yi Bai's eyes lit up and looked at her with admiration. If it is counted as a skill book, this dragon breath is at least S rank. Wow, the mine owner brother won't think I'm more and more like a monster. 5. Alice covered her mouth. I didn't feel very happy, instead I felt more and more inhuman. Grandpa, I don't want to evolve anymore, I always feel that I will become a dragon in the future. Stupid boy, isn't it instinctive to be strong? As long as you can control your strength, you will always be you. Grandpa Jack advised. Alice also complained like this, and quickly accepted the reality. She suddenly suggested, Brother mine owner, Grandpa and I can only make great progress in reappearing and upgrading, and it requires too much magical energy. I suggested that we should focus on cultivating fortune-telling first. I was already close to the crack, and I felt uneasy in my heart. If it evolves into silver, the talent must be doubled. It might have an unexpected effect. Yi Bai's eyes lit up. Great idea. He picked up the fortune, held a meeting to control the field of light, and tried his best to summon monsters to slaughter. On the way, seeing everyone upgrade, there is no danger. The pangolin shamelessly ran out to grab monsters and wanted to evolve. After seeing the huge experience bar it needed, Yi Bai kicked him away. You have to evolve silver, not only experience, but also gold. Very early. Quote, along with the slaughter of pieces of demons, the group also approached the crack. The level of monsters is also getting higher and higher, and more magic energy is fed back. Yi Bai is in high spirits. I'm not afraid that you are strong, but I am afraid that you are weak. Suddenly, when the situation is good, from the shadow on the side of the ground, a dark shadow suddenly came to life. He stretched out a black sickle and slashed at the pangolin. It intends to decapitate even the mount and the people. And at the moment when it started, Yi Bai had already noticed it in advance. Both hands gathered light energy in advance, and a huge light cannon suddenly slammed into the shadow. I have long noticed that someone is lurking and waiting for you. The light cannon is a move called Yada Mirror in the original book. Yi Bai didn't like the name, so he changed it to a light electromagnetic gun. The power is several times stronger, and it rushes towards the shadow at the speed of destroying the dead. The shadow obviously did not notice the change. Before he could react, Nuo Da's body was bombarded into a large hole by light cannons, and only the remaining limbs were scattered aside. And at this time, everyone can see the appearance clearly. It is a shadow-like humanoid monster with a very low sense of existence, and its imposing manner is a silver creature. Even more dangerous is that it is 3 times stronger after blackening. Yi Bai's identification technique quickly gave the answer. Name: Demon Shadow Monster. Level: Elementary Silver. Talent skill: Shadow Stealth. Shadow monsters can hide and sneak in the dark, it is hard to prevent. Completely hidden, its presence, mental fluctuations completely disappear. A mortal body unless the body is completely destroyed, only one arm is left, and it can be resurrected. The Slaying Blade. A blade swung at the moment of appearance, the attack power is instantly increased by 3 times. Description: this is a different kind of shadow monster, known as the King of Assassination. At night, the strength is tripled, and it is even more terrifying after demonization. Although he has just been promoted to silver, he has the terrifying strength to assassinate senior silver. Over time, it will be able to become the top silver boss. The most difficult and killing type, please be extra careful. Be careful to step back, it's not dead yet. Yi Bai quickly made the others retreat, and then activated the fruit power. A circle of halo spreads around like a ripple, and the field of light is strengthened again. The 100 meters centered on him suddenly turned into a kingdom of light. This boss is very strange, but Yi Bai just restrained it. I saw that among the fragments that were originally smashed. At this time, they are reuniting quickly in an attempt to escape from birth. If you meet top silverette, it is estimated that you can escape. But unfortunately, hit my mind. Quote, Yi Bai's eyes were cold, all the talents of this assassin king were restrained by himself. No matter which direction he fled to, he was exposed to the light. When trying to split his body, he will be found domineeringly. And Yi Bai's hands condensed light, like a moving turret. One after another, the light electromagnetic guns were shot out without money, and they hit the target accurately. He even has the spare strength to attack together with Lucky, so as to share the experience. After a while, under such indiscriminate bombardment, the dignified king of assassins of the generation was killed without causing any harm. With the dissipation of the shadow monster, there are also giant demonic energy. It has at least a huge experience comparable to 10 silver bosses. Yi Bai is like drinking ice water in summer, and his whole body is transparent. The spiral force seeds in the body rotate rapidly, driving the whole body chi and blood, and the spiral force continues to strengthen. 2 upgraded rays of light suddenly appeared. Congratulations on successfully killing the demon shadow monster. The abundant magical energy will make you upgrade the advanced bronze creature. Congratulations to your pet Wufu Lucky Cat for successfully absorbing a lot of magic energy and taking a crucial step under the blessing of luck. Successfully advanced to Junior Silver. The full talent effect of the 5 Fortune Lucky Cat is doubled, and the 4-hoofed snow stomping skill takes effect, and no monsters within the same level can attack it. The first silver creature under Yi Bai's command was born. It turned out to be a fortune. No one expected this result before, and it is not good at fighting, and often sleeps lazily on weekdays. But it's still the best investment. There are countless surprises that Lucky Fortune brings to Yi Bai. Yi Bai was still familiar with the new power, and Alice exclaimed again. It's good luck, the mine owner brother, look at it. Just now, the boss also revealed a baby. Yi Bai turned his head and saw that Alice was holding a piece of pure black fur and a bottle of pitch black potion. Congratulations on your lucky explosion, you successfully exploded the rare material Pure Black Skin X1, Stealth Potion X1. The shadow monster can still explode, and the chance is probably 1 in 10,000. Yi Bai was greatly surprised. This should be successful only after using the clover and the factor of attracting fortune. How about the 2 things? Yi Bai asked curiously. The mine owner brother sees it for himself, he is curious about the unique material. Alice handed the pure black skin to Yi Bai, and saw that the arm she was holding seemed to disappear. Yi Bai took it over, and a line of introduction appeared in small print. Pure black skin, the skin on the legendary assassination clan. There is only a slim chance that it will explode after being killed. It has special functions such as invisibility, elimination of breath, and integration into darkness. You can ask skilled craftsmen to make equipment similar to invisibility cloaks. Invisibility potion, it is brewed with the blood of shadow monsters as raw material, mixed with magical energy, and the effect is enhanced. After drinking it, it enters the invisible state for a while and disappears completely. However, after touching a living creature, it will instantly appear. Quote, 2 very special treasures, if used well, the harvest is unimaginable. Seeming to think of something, Yi Bai smiled and hid the treasure. Next time, I am afraid that I will dig out the dragon cave. However, the biggest surprise of this trip is of course the upgrade of luck. After Yi Bai himself was promoted to advanced bronze, his whole body strength doubled again. He felt that with his current strength alone, he was enough to be invincible against gold. After using the Giant of Light and throwing Chenkin, even the golden boss can be shaken. The super strength brought him self-confidence. Yi Bai waved his hand. Go, don't kill, leave the remaining monsters to others. Let's go to the Great Rift. After the group cleaned up. Be careful with the crack near the center. The Devil's Great Rift seemed to appear out of thin air, separating the 2 ends of the earth. The crack is more than a kilometer wide, and it is dark inside, and negative energy escapes from it. From time to time, there will be the sound of howling ghosts and gods, and strands of demonic energy form a howling devil face in the sky. Just looking at it, everyone's heart tensed, and they stopped instinctively. Serious warning, you have reached the SSS level Devil's Great Rift. Don't go into it, it has changed the surrounding space. Maybe once you go deep, you will travel to another world. The warning sound is getting louder and louder. Yi Bai is bold. The whole body is covered with golden light, illuminating the vicinity and driving away the demonic energy. At the same time, he opened his divine eyes to spy on the situation in the crack, and by the way he asked, "Grandpa Jack, Alice, by the way, look for the entrance there. See what treasures are hidden under the Devil's Great Rift. There is a situation where the detonator can be thrown at any time." Quote, "The perspective function here is still effective, but it is suppressed as never before." After many evolutions, Yi Bai's divine eyes have long been able to see through the ordinary 30 meters deep underground. But here, it is severely suppressed, and only 3 meters away can be seen. Yi Bai could vaguely see a burning ghost face from the crack, as well as a mottled relic vision. Like a mirage, as real as fantasy. I also saw piles of gold and silver jewelry, mountain-like spiritual stones and magic crystals piled up in the valley, waiting to be picked up by myself. Mine owner, I saw the mountains of gold below. Tempered pure gold is more than the sea. Bend over and you can pick up gold and silver mountains. Brother, I saw the corpse of a giant dragon inside. There is also a dragon ball, which is more than the baby in the dragon cave last time. Grandpa Jack and Alice shouted loudly, looking very excited. Yi Bai's head was full of question marks, and he had realized that something was wrong. Meow meow. Zhao Kai scratched him twice with his paws in time. The source book of space is hot. Yi Bai recondenses the spiral force to the divine eye. When I looked at the crack again, it was still ordinary, but it was completely black. Reminder. You have broken through the mirage. Grandpa Jack, Alice, come here, don't get excited, come to my side. Yi Bai hurriedly summoned the two of them. They were eager to dig for treasure with pickaxes and shovels, but he stopped them in time. The next moment Yi Bai's tyrannical pressure was directed towards their hearts. Let them forcibly calm down and see the truth. What's the matter? Didn't we just see the treasure in the Great Rift Valley? Grandpa Jack was full of doubts. Alice guessed. It should have its own hallucinogenic function, which allows people to see the scene they want to see most. Yi Bai nodded. That's true, as expected of the SSS level. Give us a slap before entering. But the mirage is not all fake, it needs a blueprint. There are indeed ancient ruins beneath the rift. Now the danger is to go deep and see where the crisis is. Where is the specific baby? Mine owner, according to yesterday's plan, we will tie you down with a crane first, ready to pick you up at any time. Grandpa Jack took out the prepared tools and started to assemble, which is the equipment processed by Alexander. The raw materials come from the Ghostface Devil Spider Mother, as well as the toughest parts of the Iron-backed Carp King and other bosses. After a while, a Spider Mother silk spinning crane that can extend the rope for thousands of meters has been assembled. Make sure the surrounding is safe first, and then find a location to fix it. Alice was very concerned about Yi Bai's next move. Checking the situation carefully, Yi Bai stared at the dark crack, staring at it for a long time and felt that his mind was sucked in. And this is because his spiritual power is far stronger than his peers, awakening the 3 domineering powers. If it were ordinary people, it is estimated that they would be confused to jump off the cliff and go deep. Those who stare at the abyss are also stared at by the abyss. Don't be in a hurry, play steadily, and use the simplest method to probe carefully. Yi Bai teased the lucky charm and checked the rope made of spider silk. This is to prevent the flight from suddenly malfunctioning in the crack, and it is also convenient for Grandpa Jack to pull it back at any time. Reminder. Alice accidentally found an intermediate spirit stone at the edge of the valley. The aura is comparable to 100 spirit stones. Reminder. Alice accidentally picked up a high-level broken magic core. Reminder. Alice found a mysterious skeleton and is excavating. Alice seems to have a lot to gain in her search for the right spot. She raised the magic core in her hand not far away and shouted happily. Brother mine owner, come and see. No need to go deep, there are treasures on both sides of the rift. Yi Bai walked over and took a look, except for the spirit stone. The level of the broken demon core is unknown, but it exudes an old-fashioned aura. Its energy fluctuation is not inferior to the gold level. And this is broken, its original body must be stronger than the gold level. A gold-level magic core can be bought for 10 million yuan. This is really a blessed land. Yi Bai beautifully put away. Since coming here. At present, his wealth is soaring, and the gold brothers in the mine are obviously not lazy. Along with the reminder record of swiping the screen, the good news of their discovery of gold sand and silver mines pops up from time to time. At present, Yi Bai's total wealth has reached 200,000 points. Still rising steadily. However, the second-ranked Johnson has also entered the explosive stage, and his gold value is naturally not as high as Yi Bai's. However, with the help of props, I found an S-rank treasure place, and excavated rare items such as the Phoenix Blood Stone. To be judged by the world, extremely valuable. Announcement. Congratulations to Johnson for finding a meteorite crystal of unknown grade that fell from the sky in the S-class blessed land, which is priceless. At present, the total converted wealth has exceeded 100,000. The gap between him and Yi Bai is getting smaller and smaller. No wonder in the chat room, some people say that the final winner of this wave is likely to be Johnson. Mindless. Yi Bai is still rising in a normal way, even though he has made a lot of gold. But there are no unexpected heavy hits. And Johnson's surprise move this time is bound to win. If John digs a heavy treasure, the situation may be reversed in an instant. Everyone was very concerned about this shocking bet, and the Western mine owners even said boldly, "What's the use of finding more gold? One of John's crystals is worth several tons of gold." In the end, Yi Bai's money was just to help him earn it, ha ha ha. Yi Bai didn't take them seriously at all, and closed the chat room casually. "My outbreak hasn't started yet, see how this skeleton is." Alice and Grandpa Jack have joined forces and have successfully dug out a peculiarly shaped human skeleton with a shovel. Congratulations on your successful excavation of a gold-level demon skeleton. You can use its materials to make equipment, casting materials, etc., equivalent to 5,000 points. The bones that were dug up on the side were all demons, and Yi Bai couldn't help it. Let Alice tie herself to the rope, and Grandpa Jack fixed the hoist, ready to enter. Mine owner brother, be careful, if there is any danger, run up first. Don't be in a hurry to make a bet with that bad guy, let's go to the dragon's cave. Alice said worriedly after tying the rope tightly. Well, I'm mentally aware. I dare not say how strong a monster is killed, at least there is no problem in saving lives. Yi Bai gave the two a reassuring look. The crane began to slowly put down the rope, and he slowly sank into the valley. A timely reminder appeared in Yi Bai's ear. You have gone deep into the Devil's Great Rift and are entering the Devil's Grand Canyon. The current diving depth is 1 meter. Please note that as you get deeper and deeper, the Devil's ravings will have a bigger and bigger impact on your spirit, and finally even crazy. Li Qian's. At the same time, with the depth, there are also dangers that follow, please stop in moderation. Friendly reminder. Although opportunity and danger are long companions, the most precious thing is to retreat in spite of difficulties. Hearing the warning, Yi Bai was not afraid at all, instead he was full of energy. So the deeper you go, the more treasure you have. Not bad, I am more interested. The best bottom to give me a super surprise. And soon, Yi Bai experienced the surprise of the Devil's Great Rift. I saw that it was just hang down. A diamond the size of a pebble was found on the edge of the cliff. He happily put it away. At the same time news came. Reminder. You have picked up a large rare diamond, worth 1,000 caddies of gold. Whether to continue in depth. Yi Bai ignored the warning, but raised his head and urged happily. That Grandpa Jack, please hurry up for me, it's too slow. There are treasures on the cliff, I can't take it alone. I tested the water first, and after I solved the safety hazards, I called everyone up. Let's dig canyon celery together. Okay, the mine owner pays attention to safety at all times. Grandpa Jack started to speed up the rope. And Yi Bai also had a furry head in his arms. There are fortune bonuses, and the harvest is even greater. A red in-depth warning line appeared on Yi Bai's panel, and along with his in-depth, there were also reminders. And the next amazing harvest, the gems inlaid on the stone wall, made him feel that the SSS class was not a vain name. You have penetrated 3 meters into the canyon and obtained a total of 500 gins of gold nuggets, 1 rare emerald, and 3 rubies, with a total value of 1,000 points. You have penetrated 5 meters into the canyon and obtained a total of half a ton of gold sand and several gems, with a total value of 2,000 points. Grandpa Jack and Alice on the cliff found that Yi Bai was dancing in the wind. With a pick in hand, tied with a rope, he jumped up and down. From time to time, pull out a gem from a cliff, and even hold a large gold nugget larger than a person. Sometimes Yi Bai's clairvoyant also finds gems hidden in the cliffs. I dislike the trouble of digging with a pick, and directly use the screw force to turn it into a drill and pulled it out. At this time, the rest of the people also discovered that Yi Bai's wealth was skyrocketing at an alarming rate. In the blink of an eye, it has exceeded 220,000 points. He came, he stepped on the auspicious clouds and came in. The big brother of the list is starting to show his power. It seems that Yi Shen was also forced by Johnson to use his real skills. I suspect Yi Bai has either found another treasure, or a big gold mine. Or go to the dragon cave to explore again, and go to the dragon's wool. There is a lot of discussion in the channel. The two fight for riches, making the audience addicted. There's no reason, I'm in the S-rank blessed land, and I can pick up gold everywhere. How could it possibly rise faster than me? Johnson was in a large underground mine at this time. As expected of the blessing of the goddess of luck, there are gems and gold everywhere. But that's it can't go up Yi Bai. This made Johnson doubt his life. After returning, if he didn't take out enough treasures, the mere charge of stealing an S-class item could have him buried alive. Johnson chose to cheat Yi Bai, just to make more money and save his life. What everyone didn't expect was that Yi Bai is exploring the SSS level map, and this is just the beginning. In the continuous diving, Yi Bai also keenly felt the oppression of the spirit. The Devil's Great Rift is like an abyss, swallowing those who enter. The most terrifying thing is its own mental suppression, which can make the soul tremble and indulge in the treasure. Affected by the mental shock, your domineering arrogance is resisting instinctively. For other people, psychic attacks are the hardest to defend against. But my spirit is the strongest of the four attributes. And domineering body protection, let me see where my limits are. Despising the enemy strategically, Yi Bai is still very cautious in tactics. Soon, new changes appeared. Yi Bai's keen discovery has gone 10 meters deep. The color of the stone wall changed from black to redder, as if soaked with blood. Warning, you have gone 10 meters deep into the canyon, there will be enemies. Every 10 meters is a small level, every 100 meters is a big level, please recognize your strength and retire as soon as possible. Accompanied by the reminder, there is also the sudden fall of the stone wall on the side. I saw a black goat suddenly emerge from the cave and crashed into Yi Bai without even looking. Miners beware, the two people above their heads suddenly shouted anxiously. Alice knew there would be no such good money. Tips for carving insects. Yi Bai turned his head, and two lasers shot out from his eyes, instantly piercing the black goat's head. The enemy was killed instantly, seeing the corpse falling off the cliff. Yi Bai jumped over quickly, grabbed the black goat's body steadily, and threw it into the space ring. And got another monster corpse. The monsters in this canyon have special attributes, so let Mario make some equipment in the future. Although there was no danger, the two people on the cliff began to get nervous. Always ready to take up the rope with a hoist. After special shooting, this crane can quickly retract the rope within 1 second to ensure the safety of the people below. Congratulations on your success in killing the 10th floor guard boss Black Goat, and get the special material Black Goat horn. Worth 8,000 points. In the cave where the Black Goat was staying, there was a horn that fell off. Yi Bai beautifully put away. I'm looking forward more and more to the next, but the double attack of spirit and boss, it is really difficult for the intruder to take care of it. And the next dive is a near miss. 11 meters, 12 meters, 15 meters, accompanied by sudden attacks from time to time. At the back, there is a special organ hidden somewhere on the mountain wall. A sudden attack of poison arrows is horrifying. Anyone who is placed in such a high-pressure environment will become highly nervous and cannot last for long. But Yi Bai has two great life-saving skills. One is elementalization, at least not afraid of 99% of the means. In the end, it was the reverse scale, which gave him full confidence. Therefore, he is only worried that the challenge is not enough, and he does not feel the pressure at all. As chests of gold were dug, the cliffs became cratered. This is a rough scan. Many deeper and more remote treasures were too late to be dug by Yi Bai, and he was going to send gold miners to finish it later. Some things that are inconvenient to carry. As for the gold box itself, Yi Bai thought the material was good, and it was worth 100 gold, so he asked Grandpa Jack to hang it above the cliff. Alice and the two saw that the mine owner was making a fortune below, and gold and silver treasures were constantly being pulled up. In a hurry, I wanted to go down and dig for treasures. Brother the mine owner, let me go down to accompany you, so that the work efficiency will be doubled. Alice volunteered and shouted down. And now Yi Bai has reached a depth of 30 meters. Facing another hurdle, he replied, wait a minute, I have solved the hidden danger. While building a simple platform, you are coming down. Quote. The sound echoed in the canyon. Seemingly aware of Yi Bai's provocation, the sediment from a stone wall fell off. Amidst the shaking of the sand and gravel, a gargoyle with an intermediate level of bronze was resurrected. It is naturally able to move on cliffs, swinging stone axes at intruders. Yi Bai didn't even look at it, he raised his hand and a beam of laser light instantly killed the gargoyle. Congratulations for successfully killing the 30-meter guard boss gargoyle, you are getting rewards. At this moment, the lucky charm in Yi Bai's arms suddenly meowed, and his golden amber eyes flashed with wisdom. Just when, CJBF, he was puzzled, the voice continued to sound. The kitten transforms, 5 blessings come to the door. Your pet randomly brings you a lucky explosion and won an unexpected prize, Golem Core. The body of the gargoyle was instantly fly ashes like wind and sand. It was replaced by a green bead in the shape of a gem that shimmered in the air. As Yi Bai reached out and held it, a line of introduction appeared. Golem Core in gargoyles and other similar special creatures, the treasures that can be condensed with extremely small probability. After use, it will condense the nearby sand to form a mud giant golem. It will be your most loyal servant, with unlimited energy 24 hours a day, working at any time. After injury, the core is not destroyed, just add sediment and it will return to its original state. If there is a market transaction, there is a price but no market, and it is worth at least 50,000 points. Wonderful, a born laborer. Seeing this baby, Yi Bai was moved. The mine needs talents like you. He hurriedly threw the golem core in the treasure chest and shouted up. Alice, hang up the treasure chest. Take this gem, summon the mud giant on it, and we liberate our productivity. Yi Bai burst out laughing below, hugging Lucky Fortune for a while. Big baby, transform me more in the future. I'll give you extra food when I go back. Zhao Kai, who disliked him, wiped the saliva from his face with his claws, rolled his eyes at him, and withdrew into his arms. The canyon was cold, dark and high, and it was afraid. Alice didn't know how her brother was so happy, when she hung up the golem core and used it carefully. I saw a stream of sand on the edge of the cliff swirling. A 5-meter high, all composed of sand and stone, with a simple and honest face, a mud giant appeared. Reminder. Your employee Alice successfully summoned the advanced bronze clay giant. Staff are in place and ready to work. Yi Bai could also see the mud giant through the panel. He was a little curious about his attributes, so he took a peek at it. Name: Mud Giant. Level: Advanced Bronze. Type: Golem. Owner: Yi Bai. Loyalty: 100, Strength 110, Spirit 1, Constitution 100, Agility 50. Talent skills: Capital Savior, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year on standby. I don't know hard work, no wages. If you are injured, you will replace the parts, and if you are hungry, you will eat the magic core. The dream worker of all mine owners. A whole body of strength. The mud giant has extreme attributes, and his strength is different from ordinary people. But the price is the sacrifice of wisdom. Too complicated work can't be done. Just do some hard work. Closing parenthesis. Don't eat or drink. The source of its power is the core of the golem. As long as you eat the core, you can work. The properties of the mud giant are breathtaking. Yi Bai is the first time to see such an extreme creature. Of course, it cannot be called an intelligent creature in the strict sense. Alice was overjoyed to see the mud giant and named it Dabai. Dabai, grab the crane quickly and don't let it fall down. Dabai, go and remove the rocks over there and pile them here to make a simple house. she commanded Dabai, looking quite happy. Even a box of treasures that Grandpa Jack needed to carry was replaced by Dabai. Just supervise it and make no mistakes. Haha, if there are more big whites. In the future, I and other brothers can retire and start machines later. Just let them move and smash rocks. Grandpa Jack also liked the chubby, silly big man. Dabai's wisdom is equivalent to that of a 5-year-old child, and when he sees his master laughing, he also giggles. Seeing that there are so many novelties in the Rift Valley, Alice's heart for adventure rekindled and shouted towards the bottom. Brother the mine owner, with Dabai around, the crane can be retracted at any time. Can I go down and dig treasure with you? Yi Bai is helpless. Wait a second, there are still some monsters that have not been eliminated. When I reach 100 meters, you will come down after breaking the boss of the big level. Quote. By the way, contact Martin and the others in advance and ask them to pack up the crane, extremely. I'm going to take them all. The goal of our gold mine today is to dig through the Devil's Rift. Great, Alice cheered from the edge of the cliff. And as the speed of the dive became faster and faster, the surroundings gradually became dark, and there seemed to be a devil peeping in the darkness. The further back, the stronger the boss, and after 50 meters, the surrounding stone walls were blood-colored. Yi Bai smelled the smell of blood. Level 50 is obviously another small level. The boss here has already entered the silver threshold, which is definitely an insurmountable challenge for the current newcomers. But for the current Yi Bai, that's it. Warning. Please note that the deeper you go into the Devil's Rift Valley, the Devil's Chi counterattacks and the spiritual shock increases. Warning. The 50th gate guards the half-silver boss wings. The bird of resentment has awakened. This grumpy bird is still a flying monster, and it has great natural advantages. Coupled with the geographical advantage, the surrounding air is suddenly suppressed. Demonic energy boiled, like a demon whispering in his ears. Yi Bai's expression didn't change, he just stepped on the stone wall with both feet, and the whole person recoiled out. Dodging the attack of the grumpy bird, and then gently pointed to a sword. Laser lightsaber. In an instant, a flashing laser burst out from the fingertips, before the complaining bird could react. Break through its defenses, split it in half directly in the air and disintegrate. The blood rained down in the air with the feathers. Yi Bai shouted up, "Keep going. Congratulations on successfully killing the two-winged resentful bird. With the blessing of Gao Luck, you exploded the gliding wings." The most proud pair of wings on the two-winged resentful bird quickly fell off and floated in front of Yi Bai with a flash of light. He stretched out his hand and sucked, and put the feathers and meat pieces of the complaining bird into the space ring. And legs are also meat. He looked up at his wings happily. Gliding wings. Although the equipment level is average, it is the rarest flying equipment. Equipped with these wings, you can briefly gain the ability to glide. It can fly continuously for 1 hour, and is not restricted by altitude. Sorry, Oh Huang can do whatever he wants. 5. Yi Bai decisively equips his wings. The reason why he tied himself with a rope was not just to be steady. Are you afraid of accidental banning and a sudden fall? With this piece of equipment, in many special no-fly areas, at least there is a way out. Equipped with wings, Yi Bai clearly felt that his agility in the air had improved a lot. As he continued to dive, the pressure from the surrounding demonic energy increased. The domineering arrogance on him began to fight back. In order to prevent consumption, Yi Bai covered the surface of his body with domineering aura. At the same time, he was surprised to find that, on the panel, his experience bar and spiritual point increased a lot unknowingly. Mental attack is a double-edged sword that can improve one's own mental resistance. The experience provided by various guard bosses is much higher than that of ordinary monsters. It's an upgrade mecha. Yi Bai has more fighting spirit, and the treasures on the stone walls are no longer concealed. The blood-colored walls are inlaid with a dazzling array of jewels, including rubies, opals, and amber. Sporadic spiritual stones, various magic cores, etc., and occasionally 1 or 2 caves appear. The half-open treasure chests were randomly thrown into the cave, with jewels and jewels. Necklaces and jewelry can be picked up randomly in treasure chests. Yi Bai just randomly searched the area around him, and didn't explore many places. Even so, his wealth has grown by astonishing numbers. On the wealth list, Others watched in horror as the wealth value of the first list increased by a rank. Yi Shen's wealth has exceeded 300,000. Johnson found a few rare treasures that are invaluable, even at 150,000. MD, President Yi, my dragon cave was emptied by you. Leave us some gold. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Johnson's crystal ball and phoenix bloodstone have also been announced. Yi Bai has only found some ordinary gold and silver, and the gap between the two is still small. Quote, Johnson was far more stressed than outsiders thought, because over time, the effect of the props is getting weaker and weaker, and the treasures in the S-rank blessed land where he is located are almost the same. The increase was noticeably weaker. The big mine owners who had fully supported him before sent frequent messages to urge him. He was obviously worried that he had invested all of his funds, but in the end, it was all in vain. You forced me, I didn't want to risk my life to break in. Johnson looked at the inner circle of blessed land and walked in fright. He's going to fight big. As long as he wins, Yi Bai's wealth belongs to him, and he can make up for any loss. Devil's Great Rift, Cliffside. One old and one young, one clay figurine, is moving bricks in full swing. But their bricks are shameful. It is said to be a piece of gold bricks, has been stacked into a hill. Glittering golden. Boxes of treasure chests were hoisted up, and the clay giant shook the joystick, not knowing what it was like to be tired. Yi Bai has not yet reached the 100th level, and he has dug up a fortune worth 20 tons of gold from the Devil's Great Rift. As you can imagine, this place is rich. And he just randomly searched what was in front of him, at least 98% of his wealth was ignored. Alice was yelling at the edge of the cliff, eager to jump off. Wait a minute, it's level 99. After pulling out a super diamond the size of a bird's egg, Yi Bai drank a bottle of Shengli water to refresh himself. At this time, there was a cat meowing in his arms, and Zhao Sai had just slept for a while. Now wake up and see him still in the air. And boring to get in. Now the surrounding pressure is 10 times stronger than that of the ground. An ordinary gold digger here, I am afraid that he will be tortured crazy by the devil's ravings in an instant. Even those elementary silvers have stayed here for a long time and can't stand it anymore. Not to mention that it is a treasure, and it is under the high tension of a monster sneak attack. But Yi Bai was not affected at all, instead he was as energetic as eating a big tonic pill. Serious warning. Please don't be swallowed by desires, it is a wise choice to stop in moderation. The 100th level is the first big level, and the overall difficulty level will be A+. That's it. Yi Bai was rather disdainful, and instead shouted upwards. Da Bai, let's go further down. Grandpa Jack, you go and cut some trees on the side to make planks, and prepare to build a platform later. Okay. The back and forth on the cliff. Da Bai performed the task honestly, and turned the joystick twice as instructed by Alice. Creak creak, you have reached the 100th level, the first level of intermediate silver boss. The 100-footed devil is awake, please go back. With the rapid fall of the stone wall in front of you. A super centipede with a full length of 5 or 6 meters, 100 feet, and an iron armor wakes up. A pair of tentacles keenly sensed the intruder, and with a slight movement, the ground shook. Relying on 100 feet to climb the mountain wall, he suddenly attacked Yi Bai. Well done, it's been so long. Finally got something interesting. Although Yi Bai was tied with a rope, it did not affect his agility in the slightest. The double-winged post station behind it is as flexible as a bird in the air. A flip, turned into a golden light, and instantly descended on the head of the 100-footed Demon King. Fall me down. With a loud bang, Yi Bai's super fist that condensed into a drill fell. The rocks on the edge of the cliff continued to fall, and the surrounding magical energy was suddenly empty. With Yi Bai as the center, it turned into a vacuum. The huge body of the 100-footed devil collapsed suddenly, and the iron helmet he was proud of was smashed. Screaming in pain, Yi Bai's strength after the awakening fruit is terrifying. Just when Yi Bai was about to pursue the victory, there was a tremor in his arms. Zhao Sai suddenly jumped out and jumped on the head of the big devil with an air. A meow, and scratched the smashed iron shell of the big devil with his claws. Just when he was surprised, a reminder came. Your 5 fortune lucky cat used the persuasion skill, the enemy by foot Demon King was suppressed by race and bewitched by luck. Choose to abandon the darkness to the light, and offer hidden treasures. S+ grade immortality tree of longevity. The 100-footed demon king, who was originally mourning, no longer tried to fight back, but retreated back to the mountain wall. After shaking for a while, a winding tree was pulled out from inside. Only 30 centimeters in size, the main pull is as vigorous as a wolong, like a pocket peach tree in bonsai. The two pliers of the 100-footed devil held the small peach tree and handed it to Yi Bai. To be precise, it is a lucky charm given to the side. Yi Bai was greatly surprised. He almost didn't kill the great demon king, but it didn't make it surrender. On the contrary, he did not make a move to attract wealth, and he recruited and surrendered the big boss with the strength of the primary silver. 0. It turns out that making money is the MVP of this battle. Yi Bai warmly took over the plant and decided to add a meal for lucky fortune later. At the same time, the identification technique gave the information of this treasure. Congratulations on your fortune and the blessing of the King of Beasts. Get the 100th level hidden prize, S-level card, the Tree of Life of the Undead Tree. Name: Shoshu. Category: Immortal Tree, one of the three major remets of Fu Lu Shou Tree. Level: S+ level, such as Fushu, Lushu, and Shoshu merged, it will become SSS level. Effect: Longevity Peach, the strongest ability, after absorbing the essence of the sun and the moon. The longevity tree will bear 10-year, 50-year, 100-year, and even 1,000-year longevity peaches respectively. Eat it to get the corresponding lifespan. Note: Shoudao needs extremely high nutrition. Wonderful place for longevity. The place where the longevity tree is located will slowly transform spiritual energy into long life. Its territory is transformed into a place of longevity, and those who live in it will live longer and be more spiritual. Lucky Tree. The longevity tree is a famous tree of good fortune, which can give the owner plus 100 luck value. And there is a chance to attract old people and monsters whose lifespan is about to reach the end. After reading the information, Yi Bai was shocked. This is definitely the most valuable fetish that I have obtained so far. Just because its attribute is longevity. Although rated as S+, Yi Bai believes without a doubt. In Blue Star, it will be defined as SSS class. How many rich and powerful people spend a lot of money in order to prolong their lives? And owning this divine tree means that there will be a steady stream of longevity peaches to eat. It's worth so much, not to mention 10 tons of gold, 100 tons, hundreds of billions of star coins, and 1 trillion star coins are not enough to measure its value. Good, really good boy. Yi Bai likes it. He stretched out a hand to caress the 100-footed demon king and accepted this subordinate. His eyes were watching the longevity tree, and he was very fond of it. Congratulations to the gold mine for having an additional employee, the great demon king of Beizu. This news was ignored by Yi Bai, who only had Shoshu in his eyes. And the shock brought by this baby is obviously not only that, but also the long-lost world announcement. World announcement. Congratulations to the gold miner Yi Bai for bravely breaking through the SSS level map, the Devil's Great Rift, and successfully recruiting the 100th level silver boss by Foot Devil. Announcement from the world. Congratulations to Yi Bai for successfully obtaining the S+ rank Divine Tree card, the longevity tree of the Elixir of Immortality. This tree is one of the SSS series Fu, Lu and Shou Shen trees, which can bear longevity peaches. Eat it to prolong life and cure all diseases. Shoshu is invaluable, considering the special attack on the elderly. Roughly estimated to be worth 200,000 points, the market has a price and no market, and it will only be higher than that. The two announcements in succession shocked everyone. Before Johnson broke into the S-class Blessed Land, he touched two rare treasures in a small way, and everyone was shocked and felt that Yi Bai would lose. And now, Yi Bai has not made a sound, and it is a blockbuster. When he came up, he was an SSS level Jedi, and the most terrifying thing was the treasure he got. S-rank cards, and their names. Undead Medicine. Longevity Peach. Every word in this is heartwarming and maddening. I'm just rubbing it. How did Yi Bai get to the SSS level map? That's what people can go to. The limit of my imagination is that he risked his life to touch the dragon's beard. Who knew my imagination was still too shallow? Stunned, I can't call him the eldest brother in the future, but Yi Shen. Have you seen his achievements? Capture the silver. 580, boss. Isn't he bronze himself? How did you do it? The bosses who agreed that they would rather die than surrender to those who are lower than themselves. I don't see any achievements, I only have the immortality in my eyes. I remember that there was a plant in the Canaan world, which almost triggered the Fourth World War at that time. In the end, the magic medicine disappeared, and now a new immortality medicine has come out. Haha, it's still a special medicine for prolonging life, and it can also sustain longevity. Peaches. Crazy. I can believe that after this comeback, Yi Bai will become the hottest #1 star in the world. A longevity peach in one hand can set up a super consortium and shake the country. Everyone went crazy. They didn't expect to witness the birth of the legend with their own eyes. Many insiders saw the words, elixir of immortality, and Shou Dao. Their breathing was bold, and their hearts were pounding. The more second-generation minds, the more important people, the more they know its gold content. The real powers of their families and consortiums are all the older generation who have not had much time. In order to survive, that is, to live one day, they are willing to spend tens of millions of stars. And now that there is a longevity peach born, it is still a sustainable result. What will happen to them? Willing to spend all their wealth to get a longevity peach. Grandpa would be very happy if he found out. I don't know if he would sell it. At this moment, Mu Lingwei opened her cherry mouth into an O shape. I am well informed, and I didn't expect someone to come up with this thing in the novice stage. Is this really supposed to be happening now? Now she is extremely fortunate that she unintentionally forged goodwill with Yi Bai. Perhaps soon, this will bring unimaginable benefits to his family. Is it really wrong to invest in Johnson and work with the Logan Consortium? Ning Jing and several of the rich sons of Yan Guo who participated in the bet remained gloomy and sunny. As players in the game, they know more about the strategic significance of this treasure. Holding a longevity peach in your hand is holding life in your hand, and you can use this to control those who seek life. And it's sustainable, which is even scarier. Impossible. Where did he get the SSS level landmark? How dare he go out? Johnson was in a desperate situation at this time, and this announcement made him fall into the abyss. A single piece of immortality medicine is worth 200,000 points, surpassing all his wealth. At present, Yi Bai's total wealth value has almost exceeded 500,000 points. And he is only 160,000. Many of them promised various conditions in the name of the Logan Consortium. Let hundreds of second-generation minds invest their money, and this will be repaid twice. If you fail, not to mention investors, the family alone will make you die without a burial. The only thing that pleases Johnson is that the judgment given by the world is extremely cautious. Otherwise, put it at the Blue Star auction, this longevity tree is worth at least several trillions, a small country. Yi Bai is not aware of the vibrations from the outside world. He didn't even have time to open the chat room. Instead, he was busy picking up money, and after appreciating Shou Dao, he carefully put it into the system space. He took out another piece of dried raw fish and fed it to the biggest hero to make money, and patted the great demon king of 100 feet. Since you've followed me, you're an employee of the gold mine. Our employee benefits are excellent, now it's time for you to work for the mine, clean up the surrounding stone walls. All hidden dangers are emptied, and then they are loaded with me. Quote. In order to give a little sweetness to the 100-footed devil. Yi Bai deliberately took out the marinated roasted wolf leg from the space ring, and threw it into the big devil's mouth. The 100-footed devil chewed a few times, his tentacles twitched happily. I have never eaten such a delicious food. The best food in the stone wall is all kinds of ants and earthworms. Bitter and meatless. How can it be compared with the wolf meat specially made by Ziju and served with honey sauce? So the demon king of 100 feet swayed his body joyfully, and used his iron armor-like body to clean the surrounding stone walls. Dong dong dong. It is like a scavenger, and as an inner ghost, he is familiar with this area. Many hidden traps, automatic bows and thorns have been swept away, revealing sparkling gems. Many of Yi Bai's traps saw his scalp go cold. Even if he was fine, the miners would suffer. Brother mine owner, are you all right? Hear the movement below, the smoke billows. Alice asked nervously below. I'm fine, there are too many babies here, I don't have enough hands. specially hired a guy with more hands to help. You are ready to take up the rope. Yi Bai threw another wolf's leg to the great demon king and let it carry himself up. A guy with a lot of hands. Alice was wondering what code her brother was using. I saw a huge black shadow quickly emerge from the smoke. Its head is ferocious, and there is a big bag that has just been knocked out. A pair of terrifying jaws are like pliers, breaking mountains and breaking rocks is no longer a problem. At the same time, its slender body has trembling pairs of small feet. On its head is sitting Yi Bai, who is laughing, and the lucky charm on his shoulder. It turns out that multi-handed means literally. Alice secretly complained in her heart. The pangolin with sharp eyes was so frightened by the poison that its scales stood up. Yi Bai quickly jumped down and explained. Don't run away, my own. This is a new employee recruited by Jiaosai, with the strength of intermediate silver. The strongest is his talent, which is quite good. It will be a part of our mine in the future, don't despise it. Alice has the dragon blood gene, but she is not very afraid of the 100 feet. Instead, he leaned forward and touched its tentacles curiously, his eyes full of novelty. When Yi Bai came up just now, he had already checked its properties. I don't know if I don't see it, but I'm startled when I see it. The 100-footed demon king who was subdued by lucky fortune is still a different species, with an extraordinary origin. Name: 100-footed demon king. Level: intermediate silver. Category: abyss alien species. Extraordinary race, often influenced by magic, fierce and abnormal. It is not afraid of conventional mental attacks, and its combat power is the top of its class. Innate skill: steel and iron bone. 100 feet lurks underground all the year round, swallowing an unknown amount of metals and ores. Trained in a proud armor, he was born with extremely powerful defenses and weapons. It can almost be said that within the same level, it is difficult to break through its armor. Closing parenthesis. A blow to the mountain. The two jaw teeth on the head of the 100 feet condense the metal essence, which is indestructible. Combined with its enormous power, once it is deployed, it can easily open mountains and bite off the body of monsters of the same level. The 100-foot parade. The ultimate skill. The 100 feet have been cultivated underground for many years. The strongest force burst out in one breath, and the armor spewed out steam. The extremely terrifying speed and power erupted. Even at the bottom of 10,000 meters, it could instantly break a long hole. Description: the centipede is the king of the underground world, and this alien species absorbs demonic energy. He is a genius that has been seen in the centipede family once in 1,000 years. If he is cultivated well, he may be able to evolve again in the future. Yi Bai has yet to see Beizu's cruel nature. On the contrary, it appears very good in the face of fortune. The overall temperament is lazy and likes to lie on the ground and sleep. Seeing Alice feeding it meat, she will take the initiative to hold up to catch it. And the silver-scaled pangolin saw that this head was crushing his colleague in terms of strength and armor. A sense of urgency rose in my heart. He also took the initiative to help Grandpa Jack move trees. Alice, I can rest assured that there is a mud giant and 100 feet here. You and Grandpa Jack prepare some wood first. I'll go back on a pangolin now, and bring all the miners with me. There are so many babies in the Great Rift Valley. I have gained so much just by walking around at will, and the gold and silver treasures cannot be held by both hands. Yi Bai really wasn't Versailles this time. He patted the 100 feet and said. What's more, this time, with it, and the wings just obtained, it is even more like walking on the stone wall. Later, you will build a platform at a distance of 100 meters, and slowly excavate the treasure in the stone wall. If I continue to explore, I will surely make a fortune. Brother, come back soon, I wanted to go in and have a look. Alice put on her mining hat and was ready to try. Grandpa Jack scratched his head. It's okay to call the brothers up, otherwise many babies will miss. I saw a lot of gold and precious stones hidden in the ground on the edge of the cliff just now. Yi Bai also instructed the clay giants and Beizu to protect the grandfathers. Quickly turned over and rode on the pangolin. Go, ram the goods. Hurry up, time doesn't wait for anyone. It's already 11 o'clock in the morning, and there are only 5 or 6 hours left to return. If it's too slow, I'll let you guard your house in the future, and I'll ride 100 feet. Under the oppression of the 100 feet, the pangolins felt a sense of crisis. The four hoofs pulsated rapidly, rushing out like a drill, and its speed was twice as fast as when it came. It's just that the cost of the first 2 days was recovered just after the 100th floor. There is also the heavy treasure of the Shoshu, so what's next? Yi Bai returned to his heart like an arrow, and used all his power to avoid those bosses. And this time, with his domineering display, he found that his spiritual power had exceeded 300. He had reached the spiritual limit of silver level. Because I have experience when I came, I can just go back and follow the previous road. When passing through the prehistoric Jurassic period, Yi Bai regretted that the tendons of the dinosaurs did not work. One by one, brute force, not doing coolie mining is a pity. At extreme speed, after walking 100 kilometers in 10 minutes, Yi Bai saw the mine again. Before he arrived, he stood up and shouted excitedly, "Brothers, pack up and dig for treasure." In gold mines. Morning time, everyone is diligently mining and panning for gold, and no one is lazy. Because I know that the mine owner signed a gambling contract with someone, and after the failure, not only money is gone, but people are also gone. For the sake of their own lives and lives, no one is lazy, and they are all motivated. Gold miners dig gold mines along the east, and the harvest is not small. Pieces of soil with gold sands were transported back, where they were filtered by machines. Leopard Head and Drill Head drove the minecart to the oil mine to extract crude oil and then purify it. And Life Master Mario is busy in the warehouse. There are too many stored materials, and there are piles of magic cores as power sources. In addition to the 3 favorite bronze cranes, there are also rock breaking and digging machines, and even small excavators and shovels. Architect Grover is expanding the mine's defense facilities. Help Zawan to expand the kitchen, which can accommodate 10 people to cook at the same time. Renovated the necessary places such as the canteen, the mine owner's hut, and the toilet. Grandpa Hulu takes care of Longya Mi very carefully. And after a while, the employees felt the rapid increase in the wealth of the mine, and they all realized that the mine owners had made a fortune. Through the spiritual connection of the brothers, Grandpa Jack made them prepare in advance, and each machine was filled with oil. The Leopard Head and the Drill Grandpa pushed the purifier with all their strength to store hundreds of barrels of oil, and Zawan prepared food. Therefore, when Yi Bai appeared and shouted loudly, everyone had already responded. "Waiting for you, mine owner." Everyone quickly climbed the pangolin and got on the mine cart. Even Zawan wanted to go there to see. Others are fine. We have all our hands to go there. What about these machines? 5. Mario looked at the crane and the excavator in a bit of trouble. Limited by the conditions, these machines are all small, not as good as the ones sold in stores. But it's also a rare tool right now. It doesn't matter, I have a space ring here. It was only at this time that Yi Bai felt that the things Alexander gave were useful. As he put in the machines one by one, the space rings slowly filled up. Yi Bai looked at the crowd. Tom, Martin, Mario, Grover, Leopard Head, Grandpa Drill, these people must be brought over. But the mine also needs to be guarded. If a thief breaks in and steals some gold and food, it is a trivial matter. If the Golden Dragon Rice has an accident, it will be in big trouble. Grandpa Hulu, you take Zawan to guard your home. Feel free to contact Jack, we'll be right back. Quote. He finally decided to keep these two. At the same time, he walked quickly to the river and communicated with the leader of the piranha flower. After paying many unequal treaties to add food, the piranhas promise not to let a fish cross the creek. It's also fortunate that a group of monsters took the initiative to deliver meat to the door last night, otherwise they would not be able to support so many big-stomached kings. One by one, if you don't want to do something, you just want to eat. Why don't you compare yourself with Dubai? You don't have to eat or drink, and you work 24 hours a day. Yi Bai still likes to drive. Just when he was about to get into the car, a brown figure suddenly appeared from the side, and at the same time, there were 100 small moles following her feet. Brother mine owner, wait for me. It turned out that it was Maya, who was long overdue, and she also learned from Alice that she called Yi Bai her brother. She also brought the group of little guys with her, and Yi Bai only noticed the news at this time. Reminder, your animal trainer Princess Maya, through a friendly exchange. Then use salt to bribe the gem dragon rat, and use a piece of bread every day as salary. successfully signed the unequal labor contract with 100 moles, and you have 100 more outsourced employees in your mine. Good guy, we have doubled our staff. Yi Bai was a little embarrassed and said, cough, sorry, in a hurry, I really forgot about you. What, do you want to dig for gold too? But there is magic in the Devil's Great Rift, and I'm afraid you will have nightmares. As for the gold miners, hee. As long as they have gold to dig, they are not afraid of anything. Maya squeezed into the car without fear, and sat in the co-pilot, leaning against Yi Bai. At the foot is a group of squeaky little moles. She looked around curiously, he said. Good brother, I've never ridden in this thing you called a car. I always feel that minecarts are so new, so you can show me the world. I can still bring this group of little guys to help you dig more gold, please. Maya deliberately hugged Yi Bai's arm and acted like a spoiled child. Yi Bai smelled its fragrance, and his face was slightly embarrassed. Alice is lively, but she can't act like a spoiled child. Zawan is reserved, always works silently, and never asks for it. Maya doesn't know if Sun City has an open atmosphere and a very sunny personality. As soon as it came, it was cooked by itself, and it sold itself for one meal. Okay, let go first. The grandfathers are still watching, and when they arrive at the Grand Canyon, remember not to act rashly, and listen to my arrangements. Yi Bai reluctantly stepped on the accelerator and led the mighty army forward. Love you, good brother. Maya laughed, and after taking a sip, Yi Bai let go of her hand. It attracted the laughter of the grandfathers watching in the back row, and the car was filled with a happy air for a while. It made Yi Bai blush. After this little episode, the pangolins drove fast towards the Grand Canyon. They were quite familiar on the road, but had an accident as they passed through the prehistoric forest. The gold miners saw golden grass everywhere, gold and silver mines that could be found at any time. My eyes were red, I thought I had reached the place, and I was ready to get off. Until Yi Bai opened his mouth to persuade, this is uncultivated land. There are treasures everywhere, but not the destination, and they reacted. My darling, it's not far from our mine. There are so many treasures in this big forest, and no one picks up the exotic medicinal materials and gems everywhere. The miners' grandfathers shook their heads reluctantly. When there is a chance in the future, I will definitely go to this forest to mine. It's coming soon. Yi Bai calmly drove through the foot of a brontosaurus. Dinosaurs are already big, the spiritual energy here is abundant, and the forest food is abundant, and there are many precious medicines. A super dinosaur with a height of tens of meters and hundreds of meters was born. Although my family also raised a few hybrid dragons, what kind of dragoons did my brother form? But compared to the dinosaurs here, it's a flock of birds. Maya was very excited in the Jurassic, and if she had something important to do, she would definitely come down and explore. And shortly after entering the forest, the group suddenly heard the sound of gunfire not far away, and even the roar of the motor. Everyone's face changed. Anyone else there? The first thing that Martin Grandpa's thought of was that this treasure land has its own owner and has competitors. The leopard head was worried about the safety of the mine, after all, it was not very far away. Sir, do you want the villain to go and investigate, and it's better to do it first. Yi Bai frowned slightly and received a reminder again. When you pass through the prehistoric Jurassic period, you accidentally discover the clues of the dinosaur home again. A group of dinosaur hunters seems to be hunting dinosaurs for biological experiments. Are you going to stop their conspiracy and test the dinosaur home? At other times, according to Yi Bai's character, he took his grandfathers to guys long ago. Dare to come to his back garden to run wild, tired of living. But now, it's almost 12 noon. The Devil's Rift exists for a limited time. He could only sink his heart. Don't worry about him for now, there are still things to do today. Even if you don't provoke them, they will collide one day. Quote. And just when Yi Bai was going to drive around them, the alarm bell rises in my heart, and I am very nervous when I see it. Yi Bai abruptly got out of the car and looked at the source of the problem. I saw that with a humming sound from far to near, the earth seemed to be shaking. Boom boom boom, one after another, loud noises like the sky collapsed from far to near. Every time the sound rang, the earth shook once, and the sea of clouds in the sky boiled and emptied. The ripples it produces have been spreading, making all beasts terrified. A group of pterosaurs and Aeolian pterosaurs screamed and took off on the sea of trees. This big scene caused a sudden change in everyone's face. The silver-scaled pangolin did not dare to move forward, but instinctively felt something. Lying on the ground, his head shrank, shivering. I seemed to smell a ray of primitive wildness. I could see a super big guy approaching with all my eyes on it. Quote. Maya got out of the car with a pale face, approached Yi-Bai gently, and whispered. There is still such a big guy here, how much food should he eat every day? I don't want to come here for fun anymore. Quote. Maya is keen on beasts, and is a mysterious royal family. Her potential is not a simple animal trainer on the surface, she saw the truth one step ahead. I saw a sky-long, blue-colored skin. With mottled ancient traces, the Super Tianju is coming across the forest. Its true form cannot be fathomed. The blue sky pillar came across, and the place where the hoof landed was in ruins. Run away, it's the earthquake dragon. Mom, I want to go home, this is the ancestor of the earthquake dragon. Just as Yi-Bai pushed his experience to the limit, the terrified sounds of dinosaur hunters not far away were also heard. There is more than one cyan pillar, there are 4 in total. They stepped slowly, a step of several hundred meters. In an instant, it came to the vicinity of Yi-Bai, and its bottom accurately covered where the dinosaur hunter was. Rumble down. Now, the corner of this pillar was no more than 500 meters away from Yi-Bai. He looked up and saw that the bottom of the pillar was covered with a stratum corneum. He believed that it was the geo of some kind of creature. Mom, what a foot, so big. Yi-Bai, who thinks he has a big heart, is also a little stunned. My brother called me. This should be the king of giant beasts. Someone hunted dinosaurs, so it was disturbed. Maya thought Yi-Bai was calling her. Boom, the hoof, like the palm of a god, finally fell, and no miracle happened. With the surrounding giant trees breaking, the hurricane hit, and the smoke flew. The gang of poachers not far away was completely turned into flesh, and merged with the earth. Boom, one by one. The aftermath of the earthquake was long overdue at this time. Yi-Bai quickly drove Bawongs to form a defensive circle to prevent casualties. Chapter 71. Howling. Like a Category 12 hurricane, the surrounding trees and rocks are swept away. Yi-Bai's domineering aura condensed into a substantial semicircular air hood. Like a boat in a storm, it can withstand it. The oversized dinosaur leg wasn't attacking them head-on, so the aftermath wasn't dangerous. Just seeing the ancient and primitive lines of the dinosaur's legs in person, everyone felt the shock of the soul and the awe of nature. Yi-Bai also waited for the opportunity to use the identification technique. As the level continued to rise, the information given by the identification technique became more and more clear. Soon from the dinosaur legs appeared a line of introduction in small print. Name: King of Titans. Level: Top Platinum. Category: Titan Dinosaur Advanced Race evolved from Quake Dragon. Attributes: Strength 5000, Spirit 500, Constitution 3000, Agility 400. Talent Skill: War Trample. Wilderness: Pillar of Heaven. Titan's Roar. L. Description: Dinosaurs are huge, and Titanosaurus is the best among them. This Titan Dragon King is more than 1,000 meters tall, and his strength is even greater than that of diamond creatures. It is a natural alien, responsible for guarding the safety of the Jurassic. Recently, I have been troubled by a group of small insects, and they often come out to patrol, so they have trampled and destroyed many forests. Don't provoke it, if you play well. A terrifying power comparable to a holy creature will erupt, taking an extreme route. Yi-Bai breathed a sigh of relief when he got a value over a kilometer, but what puzzled him was the opponent only has the strength of top platinum, which is completely incompetent with the power he caused. He has also seen the red-winged dragon of the same level. Although it gave him an unmatched feeling, it was not so exaggerated. Its power value of 5,000 makes Yi-Bai's scalp tingle. He felt that the top diamond creatures should not be so high. Boom. After trampling the dinosaur hunter to death, the king of the Titan dragon slowly retracted his dragon legs. Begin to retreat to the depths of the forest. Among the clouds, Yi-Bai saw the vague dinosaur skin, neck, and a pair of eyes as vast as the sun and the moon. It glanced at Yi Bai and the others, and then continued to stay away. Brother, this big dinosaur is too extreme. In order to facilitate evolution, some dinosaurs choose to condense their body density. If it is, it will exert its own advantages to the limit. Quote. Maya was speechless, feeling that the trip was worth it. Yi Bai thoughtfully, although its strength and size are terrifying, I believe that if you step on the red-winged demon dragon, you can kill it with one hit. But the agility and spirit are not too high. Even if the red-winged demon dragon is defeated, it can retreat completely, and it can even harass from time to time. Such a huge size is both an advantage and a disadvantage. Sometimes a mosquito can kill it. Quote, Yi Bai can think of this, and the group of mad scientists at Dinosaur House will even make special plans. Thinking of the Super Tyrannosaurus Rex and the Brachiosaurus King the first saw before. Yi Bai couldn't help sighing about the Jurassic crouching tiger, hidden dragon. Wait a while to finish up and play with Dinosaur House. Don't let them run wild, this is my back garden. Yi Bai greeted everyone to get in the car quickly. After this episode, everyone was quiet. Pangolins are also much more honest. Yi Bai specially drove past the origin. In the pit with a diameter of more than 50 meters, there were scattered traces of blood in the squashed car. Yi Bai was also not interested in picking up trash and passed quickly. As the Titans passed by, many groups of dinosaurs retreated 3 feet. Some trees were also planted, and Yi Bai's efficiency was even higher. 10 minutes to the periphery of the canyon. However, a reminder followed, making him fall into an ice cave. Reminder: your employee Alice was accidentally affected by an unknown influence and accidentally fell into the rift. What happened to Alice? Didn't they wait for me on the edge of the cliff? Yi Bai's heart is burning. The motor was pushed to the extreme, and the monsters blocking the way were directly killed. When they reached the edge of the cliff, there were already piles of wood and gold from several hills. Dubai is still clumsily carrying and cutting wood. Grandpa Jack anxiously looked at the canyon. Bezu shook his head as if he had just climbed out of the canyon. This place is really a treasure, and the surrounding air is so depressing. Maya and the others didn't have time to sigh with emotion, and soon discovered that Alice was missing. Grandpa Jack, what happened just now? What about the Alice? Why did you go in by yourself? Yi Bai got out of the car, stepped forward anxiously and asked. He estimates that it is so dangerous to explore less than 1% of the distance. Who knows how many meters if Alice goes missing? I was sorting materials just now, and I plan to use a crane to slowly put down the planks. In a blink of an eye, Alice was attracted by the mist rising from the canyon like a magician, and she fell down. Grandpa Jack was furious and complained that he was not. The other Golden brothers were so anxious that their white hair stood on end, shouting to find their granddaughter. Brother, don't worry, Grandpas. You haven't received the news of Sister Alice's accident, it means that she is safe for the time being. As long as we continue to explore below. According to the original plan, we will proceed slowly. Then I will definitely find Sister Alice. Seeing that the situation was getting out of hand, Maya quickly came out to persuade. Yi Bai took a deep breath, calmed down, nodded and said. Maya is right, according to the original plan. The excavation platform is built at 100 meters, and the crane places the material down. I asked Bezu to help you. If you feel uneasy in the canyon and encounter any strangeness, please send me a message. A cat head drilled out of his arms. When Zhao Kai found out that Alice had disappeared, he touched Yi Bai's head comfortingly. Aware of the master's impatience, Lucky reminds you, Alice is very lucky. With its blessings, it will be able to turn bad luck into good luck. Yi Bai was made to cry and laugh. If Zhao Kai disappears, I don't worry at all, maybe I will bring back some treasures for myself. Alice's disappearance makes everyone move faster. Design of excavation platforms, construction of machines, transportation of timber. Coupled with the addition of 2 powerful new employees, Dubai and Bezu, there is no need to worry about strength. The pangolin is also helping, it is like 100 feet. Able to move forward on the cliff wall, but no one has home field advantage, and can only move forward for a certain distance. The further you go inside, the harder it is to keep your balance, as well as your spirit. Yi Bai just arranged it to protect the grandpas. Come on, good brother, catch it. Grandpa Martin turned the rocker and saw piles of wooden boards tied down and put down. Grandpa Jack and Grandpa Drill, who were in the canyon, responded loudly. With Grover as the designer, Mario manufactures various components such as planks, nails, support columns, etc. The other Golden brothers are responsible for the implementation, the 3 pets are coolies, and Maya is responsible for supervising the work and detecting dangers. Lucky is the atmosphere team, Yi Bai is in charge of safety. In just 10 minutes, a firm platform of more than 300 square meters was built 100 meters away from the canyon. Reminder: you have conquered the Devil's Grand Canyon for 100 meters with your men. If you continue to dive, there may be unexpected surprises, but it is more likely to encounter a huge crisis. Yi Bai didn't take the warning seriously. Alice's disappearance only strengthened his thoughts. He looked up at the sun. At this time, in the middle of the day, it was just after 12 o'clock at noon, and the sun was just right. But over time, the Devil's Grand Canyon seems to wake up. Among them, the demonic energy was boiling, and the sound of ghosts and gods' howls came from it. A layer of darkness shrouded the surroundings, just in case someone else goes missing. Yi Bai's sights and hearings are open to the maximum, and whenever there is trouble, they will be discovered. Ding! Your employee, Grandpa Jack, accidentally dug up a rare gem the size of a fist during the construction process. Worth 2,500 points, he put it in his pocket. Ding! Your employee, Grandpa Martin, found a treasure hole during the construction process. There are 3 treasure chests hidden in it, and they are dragging them out with the brothers. Ding! Your employee Leopard Head found a super large gold nugget during the construction process. A full half-ton, is struggling to pry it out. Ding! Your employee Princess Maya found a bone fossil that looked like a diamond during the exploration process. It is a scarce material, it can be directly made into a weapon, it is worth 5,000 points. In the process, a series of reminders dispelled the haze of Alice's disappearance. Everyone took 1 step, picked up a piece of gold, took 10 steps, and found a big treasure chest. This explosion rate makes everyone excited. How come there are so many treasures here? We haven't started digging, and there are so many harvests. Grandpa Jack sighed. I feel that I have worked for most of my life and I have never found a better place than this. Especially all the Golden brothers share the perspective function, they work together like a radar. Accurately scan the hidden treasures in the stone wall, which makes the efficiency more than 1 step higher. Just when the platform is set up, Yi Bai's wealth points have exceeded 600,000, reaching an astonishing astronomical figure. Did Yi Bai empty the treasure? How did it start from the previous Li Qian's stagnation, and then exploded and grew faster than before? In the chat room, everyone was puzzled, wondering why the treasure in his place would not be hollowed out. There is only one truth: he brought all the staff over to help. Yes, no matter how efficient one person is it more efficient than everyone working together? Stop Yi Shen, the earth has been cleaned up by you. Pay attention to sustainable mining. Yi Bai is naturally unaware of everyone's complaints. He took out cranes, mining machines, rock breakers, excavators and other machines from the space ring, and threw them on the 100-meter platform. The wooden board creaked. Yi Bai shouted, "Grandpas, take a short break and have lunch. The task is heavy this afternoon. There are only 6 hours until the final settlement, when I return at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. In addition to looking for Alice, we can only work hard. Come on, these props. Don't be reluctant." Yi Bai began to distribute food prepared by Shengli water, lucky grass and purple cuckoo. He asked everyone to drink celery as a Red Bull. As long as you have the strength, do it for me. Who has the heart to eat when they see the treasures everywhere? Less than 5 minutes, the crowd simply ate the food and filled the water with vitality. With red eyes and a thick nose, he started to work, as if he had been beaten with blood. And Yi Bai rode on 100 feet, stood on his shoulders to attract wealth, and shouted loudly, "I'll go down and explore, and if anything happens, feel free to contact me." With the roar of the machine, this big demonic crack was gradually excavated. There are still Mario and Grover controlling a spider crane on the edge of the cliff, and Dabai is also on it, bringing up the treasure chest from time to time. Pangolins work as transporters, carrying boxes of gold back and forth. Others were digging from a cliff 100 meters away, tied with ropes and with pickaxes in hand. Hee, it's time for you to show up. Dig me more, food and water are not a problem. Surprisingly, the MVP here turned out to be Princess Maya. I saw she took out a packet of minced meat. As soon as it was thrown away, 100 moles were scrambling to grab it. In order to make them more energetic, Maya took out several bottles of Shengli water for them to drink. It's like taking a stimulant now. The moles, all with red eyes, were digging around the edge of the cliff. Because of the perspective function of the miners, the moles are commanded, and each one is accurate. During Yi Bai's dive, the horns in his ears kept ticking. Reminder: your outsourced employee mole excavated a diamond, ancient remains, mysterious unidentified ore. Closing square bracket. Your official employee, Grandpa Jack, drives an excavator and digs a cave. It turned out to be a large tomb, which is being explored. The corners that Yi Bai had neglected before are now being swept away by the autumn wind, leaving not a single golden sand behind. That's what it sounds like. Yi Bai looked at the skyrocketing wealth value and nodded in satisfaction. All the previous losses have been made up, and he can't wait to go home and shop. Because Alice went missing, she was caught in the moor inside. Therefore, Yi Bai's diving movements were quite radical. His ropes have long been untied and left for the workers to use. Carry your own gliding wings, stand on the back of 100 feet, and dive carefully. At present, you have gone deep into the canyon 110 levels, please pay attention to safety. Not surprisingly, another monster came to block it on this floor. It was a huge worm with a length of 6 meters and a snow-white body. According to the information, it is famous in the underground world for a long time, as the lowest food. Seeing the demon worm, Centipede looked very excited. To be precise, the eyes are red, and I want to eat it. Although the opponent dived deeper, Bezu, as the gatekeeper on the first floor of the Devil's Grand Canyon. The strength is not bad, and it can naturally crush the opponent. Yi Bai disliked the two weak chickens pecking at each other, and blasted the demon worm with a beam of light with both hands. But when it exploded, Yi Bai knew why Bezu was so excited. Devil worm egg, don't look at it disgusting, it is rich in protein. Not only can supplement energy, protein, mental strength, it can also have a certain resistance to demonic energy, which is an excellent food. Yi Bai's hand was covered with mucus, a worm egg like a goose egg. Although it looks unremarkable, but for the sake of strength, Yi Bai still closed his eyes and pried it open and ate the egg white. At the moment of entry, there is no fishy smell as he imagined, but it is full of fragrance. Rare in the underground world, no wonder it is so famous as food. The nutrients contained in it make Yi Bai's previous fatigue swept away. What's more, the energy value he accumulated from killing monsters broke through. A breath of completeness emanated from his body. Congratulations on your deep accumulation and successful breakthrough to become a top bronze creature. Congratulations, your spirit has been tempered and has reached the spiritual value of top silver. Finally, CJBF, at this point. One step further is the silver creature. At this level, in Blue Star, you can be a company executive and have a good position. Among these newcomers, the strongest second-generation minds, such as Johnson and Muling Wei, were only able to break through to bronze creatures on the third day. The benefits brought by a strong mental power are more comprehensive, and Yi Bai's 3 domineering powers are obviously controlled more satisfactorily. Among them, the strongest sense of sight, so that Yi Bai's keen gap will be checked by silver creatures until the next dozens of levels. And the 200th level is like a gate, blocking one's own perception. I can only vaguely feel that there is a high-level silver creature stationed there. I probably understand that every time a mark crosses a big level. In addition, there is home field advantage and magic gas bonus. Challengers of the same level are not necessarily able to win the boss. Yi Bai, whose strength has risen again, is a little itchy, and he is only warming up now. Not to mention that Chenkin was forced out with a single throw, even the Giant of Light has not tried it. Coupled with the urgency of time, Alice's disappearance. Yi Bai's actions became radical. Let me see where the limits are. Hundreds of feet, speed up my progress, use the 100-footed parade, don't be polite to my former colleagues. Make as much noise as possible, force out hidden monsters, and destroy traps. In this way, it is safe for grandpas to mine. Yi Bai shoved the lucky money back into his arms, his whole body glowed with golden light, and the overlord color swept around like a hurricane. The demonic energy was forced back, the gravel and rocks were smashed, and they fell into the abyss, provoking a roar of rage. Bezu obviously sensed Yi Bai's fighting intent, and since Alice was missing, he felt that he was responsible. It held its head high, and its hundreds of feet moved at the same time. The armor stood up like a steam engine, spewing out smoke. Start burning yourself, speed up to break the level. 100-foot parade. Boom. Like the birth of an earth dragon, it is like a great earthquake. The 100-legged huge body is like a tornado, crawling recklessly on the mountain wall. Combined with the air hood composed of Yi Bai's materialized overlord color, its head is like a diamond drill bit, breaking through layers of levels and rocks. With the momentum of lightning speed, move forward. Please be careful, your actions have brought the anger of some bosses in the Great Rift Valley. You have advanced 120 meters, 130 meters, 150 meters. It doesn't show off its arrogance, when it is a sick cat. After all, it is an abyss alien, and it is a fierce mess. The traps along the way were razed to the ground, and the boss who came out to find death was smashed into pieces. It was a little more difficult to solve. Yi Bai, who was standing on its head, started to get angry. Along with the lightsabers condensed out, the light cannons roared, and the light field unfolded. This abyss where no sunlight has come in for thousands of years. Suddenly it became a burst of transparency, and many hidden monsters were illuminated. Cleaned in a roar. Such a big movement, the harvest is also huge. Ordinary things, gold, silver and precious stones, Yi Bai has no time to pay attention. It was only when he saw and heard the important treasure that he reached out and took it. Congratulations on successfully breaking through the 120-layer level and obtaining the B-level card, Fragrant Hazel Root. The fragrant hazel tree can bear fruit, and its wood can be used as the best furniture, and even spell-casting materials. Congratulations on successfully breaking through the 150-layer level and getting a mysterious seed, which needs to be hatched. A series of news came out that many babies need to be planted in the territory in the future. Yi Bai doubted that his A-grade land could support so many divine trees. But soon the problem was solved. When breaking through to 180 levels, luck broke out and a colorful lucky bag appeared. 5-colored lucky bag. The top grade in the lucky bag is like being lucky and opening different treasures. In the past, the dragon rat gave me a 9-colored lucky bag and opened a devil fruit. I don't know if the Devil's Grand Canyon has it. 5. Yi Bai stopped temporarily in front of the mark, and also let Bezu take a breath. After picking up the European spirit of attracting wealth, he looked at his panel and ate a clover. Luck is always with me. The lucky 5-leaf clover at the bottom of the press box should still be kept, in case Alice cannot be found at the bottom of the valley. With his abundant wealth, the clover that he could not afford to eat has become a daily prop. Yi Bai, who was in perfect condition, opened the lucky bag with satisfaction, accompanied by a burst of colorful light. A pile of golden sand lay quietly in the lucky bag. Yi Bai screamed, "Bad, overturned with my European spirit. Drive out a pile of worthless gold sand." When he took a closer look, he suddenly realized. Congratulations on your successful issuance of the Grade A Special Fertilizer card, Jinkala. Jinkala, the magic fertilizer from San Diego, sprinkled on the ground. It can increase the yield by 5 times and increase the growth rate by 10 times. What is even more amazing is that it can also be combined with the properties of the land itself. The effects do not overlap. I'm afraid this is more precious than the A-level land card. Yi Bai put away Jinkala with satisfaction, and then looked at the second important juncture. Bezu had just finished his ultimate move and was panting. Yi Bai touched his head and comforted. Filled it with a bottle of Shengli water and handed it to the ancient jerky that had exploded before to restore its spirit. When he was about to break into the 200 meters, unexpectedly another surprise came. Congratulations to your gold miners who accidentally discovered a piece of gold king, platinum star. It is said that only where there have been more than 10 tons of gold, there is a 1 in billion chance that a platinum star can be born. Can produce fixed gold every day. The huge experience of its mining, pay attention to promote several ranks. Gold miners are mining platinum stars. Please be careful, there are monsters awakening and planning to stop. King of Gold. It's interesting, and there are people who dare to make trouble. Yi Bai didn't dare to neglect, he patted Beizu and rose quickly. He realizes that the grandpas may have dug into hidden treasures, and that's what brings them here. If Yi Bai was alone, it would have been ignored long ago. The platinum star is about 99 meters high, wrapped in layers of gold. Exuding a dazzling light like the sun, a group of old men were excited, holding pickaxes in their hands to knock. There are still people on the periphery who keep excavating, and use tractors to throw waste soil below. As for the monster that seemed to be made of silver running from a distance, the grandfathers all ignored it. Yi Bai felt ashamed when he saw this enthusiasm. However, the information on the monster given by the appraisal technique made Yi Bai's eyes light up. Growth Special Creatures. Name: Silver Beast. Level: Low-level Silver. Evolution is extremely special, only need to swallow silver. After a while of digestion, you can advance. In theory, if you have enough silver, you can advance to the top silver in one day. Closing parenthesis closing square bracket. Category: Growth Special Metal Monster. A piece of ordinary ore that has been bred underground for more than 100 million years awakens and sleeps for more than 1,000 years. It may be the only ordinary ore refined in the underground world. Closing parenthesis closing square bracket. Talent skill: Devouring metal. The silver beast has very good teeth, can chew gold and swallow silver, and extract essence from it. It can also swallow all kinds of raw materials and pull out all kinds of metal cakes. Closing parenthesis. Metal body: The whole body is made of metal, with extremely high defense and extremely difficult to kill. Gold and iron intuition: Naturally interested in underground gold and silver mines. Description: Devil Grand Canyon hides extremely deep monsters. A strange creature born under the power of time by chance. Although metal monsters are not uncommon, but this one has a very high growth potential under the cultivation of magic energy, and it can continue to evolve. It is rare. Killer is not recommended. This silver beast is not large in size, somewhat similar to a tiger and leopard, with a silver body all over it. Seeing the old men dig up their treasured food, they slammed into them angrily. Gold miners are fascinated by the pursuit of wealth. Not to mention it, the surrounding demonic energy was ignored. Instead, it was Maya's babbling reminder. Yi Bai was helpless, and let it stop him with 100 feet. Clang, accompanied by a golden sound like a bell and drum. Both the 100 feet and the silver beast had a big bag on their heads. Both sides grimaced in pain and began to back away. They are now pinpointing the wheat mang. They all have bodies of gold and iron, and they live very close to each other. Yi Bai wondered if they had an old feud. His two battles are not in vain. A real man should fight hard, like a fight. Continue to collide, sparks are scattered, and the sound of Jin Jie is endless. Not to mention them themselves, Yi Bai and others all saw their teeth sour. However, after the 100 feet contained the silver beast, Yi Bai also pulled out his hand and helped the old man to dig the platinum star out of the mine. The platinum star looks like a white metal diamond, similar to the heart of the mountains. In the mine, like rooting and sprouting, the mosaic is very tight. That is to say, Jack's grandfathers are all masters of craftsmanship. They use pickaxes to gently smash the ore outside. Pulling with a machine. Brothers, listen to the password: 1, 2, 3, pull. With a cry from the sky, a mountain wall fell. Amidst the rumbling smoke, a platinum star was successfully dug out. Grandpa Jack caught the golden queen and couldn't put it down, and handed it to the other brothers. Martin, Tom, Leopard Head, Dot etc. They passed them one by one, and Maya also looked at them, and finally reached Yi Bai's hands. Appraisal gives a very high evaluation. Platinum star, the king of gold, the essence of underground minerals is condensed. It can produce 500 gold per day, and can also purify various raw ores, saving a lot of effort. At the same time it also brings the blessing of gold to the owner. If you are willing, you can also use it as a raw material to make accessories, etc., which may have more magical effects. Quote. Yes, long-running water is king. Yi Bai noticed that his wealth suddenly rose to 700,000 points. This platinum star has a full 50,000 rating. Probably because of its rarity and special features. And Johnson, who is competing with himself, currently only has 180,000 points. It can almost be said that the defeat is set. What kind of treasure did Yi Shen find again? Why did the wealth rise so high all of a sudden? Seeing the sudden change in the wealth list, many people's hearts jumped. Within the Devil's Great Rift, after this excavation, even with the support of fresh water, everyone's spirits were exhausted, and Yi Bai hurriedly ordered them to go up and rest first. I'm going to make a charge later, maybe the battle below is a bit fierce. It's not good if you are involved. When sending the grandpas away, Yi Bai explained. Brother, I'm waiting for you upstairs. By the way, can you get some more props, we are running out of clover. Maya reminded kindly. Everyone worked so hard for so long, Yi Bai also wanted to reward everyone. I saw a luxury item called Old Man La in the store before, and I was reluctant before, but now I can. Yi Bai also noticed this text message in the message log. Alexander has a new product on the shelves, invite you to go shopping. Thinking of this, Yi Bai went up with the others. After instructing Da Bai to continue pulling the crane, his consciousness entered the store. Alexander, I'm a little busy right now. What a good thing to make a long story short, you made me miserable this time. Although there are many treasures marked on the map, Alice has fallen into it, and the grandfathers are worried to death. As soon as you come in. Yi Bai didn't mention his harvest from the canyon in the slightest, but made a fuss about his face and face. Made Alexander insecure. He was still the same, wearing a white shirt, and whispered. Then you take people back first, and don't go to the canyon to dig. Hey, forget it. Alice has to be rescued. Come on, what about the old man's music that sold for 100 gold? Give me 8 pieces first, don't you put new things on the shelves. Not afraid of your jokes, my employees are immune to drinking too much Shengli water. The clover has also been eaten, and I have to buy a batch. Quote. Yi Bai threw out a bag of gold with a local tyrant temperament. Hey, now the family has a big business and consumes more materials. Don't hide anything good. Now I also have small assets, and when I go back later, you also have to purchase a large amount of materials and purchase machines, and don't take out the common goods to be ugly. When a big client came to the door, Alexander was naturally happy. He turned around and took out from the counter 8 small prosthetic hands made of twigs, specially designed to assist the tickling gadgets of the elderly. That's it, I also bought 100 gold pieces, it's very expensive. So Yi Bai was reluctant before. Alexander smiled and delivered the things to him, and began to rummage through the boxes, ready to slash the wool. Yi Bai also took a look at Lautulele's introduction. Old Man La, the prosthetic hand, the old man's favorite toy, is very refreshing when it is tickled. After use, employee happiness +10, happiness +10, loyalty +10. Only the age of the elderly, not limited to species. Just have a hand. If it weren't for its conditions of use, it would be limited to the elderly. Yi Bai wanted one for himself. At this time, Alexander had already brought out several new products and said with a smile. Come on, big boss. There are advanced products of San Miguel, and it is also the favorite canned spinach of Popeye. Alexander handed the canned spinach piled up to Yi Bai. Yi Bai looked at the price and frowned slightly. Dolly canned spinach, self-proclaimed, ripened by watering with Shengli water, the effect is 3 times that of Shengli water. What is even more valuable is that it can also satisfy hunger and supplement various trace elements. No side effects, price, 5 kilograms of gold in a jar. Quote. Boss, your can is 10 times more expensive than San Miguel. Don't you see that after I made a small fortune, I deliberately raised the price? 5. Yi Bai bargained with the boss confidently. Alexander also has something to say, and he also said that the discount period is over soon, the cost of canned food is high, and the spinach is delicious. Yi Bai is in a hurry, so he has no time to be long-winded. I bought 500 cans of spinach at random. Alexander didn't know if he had eaten him. There are also dragon scale powder specially designed to avoid monsters, and a lucky red rope with a permanent 5-point lucky value. This is all necessary. Although the price is quite high, in kilograms, silver is accepted as money. But does Yi Bai seem like someone who can't afford it now? Not long after, a message came. Congratulations on your successful consumption of 500 kilograms of gold, 1000 silver, and successfully purchased canned spinach x 500, dragon scale powder x 1000, lucky red rope x 50. Point 0. When I came back to my senses, it was on the edge of the cliff. Yi Bai discovered that Beizu was also competing with the silver beast. This monster doesn't know what's going on. Maybe the birth of metal, very stubborn. Yi Bai persuaded to surrender, but the other party ignored it. Instead, he pouted and threw out a pile of silver cakes to insult him. In this regard, Yi Bai said, "Please insult me more, it's better to hit me with gold." But after all, Beizu is superior in skill, after all, it is an intermediate silver, and a freshman is dead. After paying the price of blue nose and swollen face and iron armor, he finally defeated the silver beast. For a time, Beizu pressed down on the silver beast, screaming for a while, showing off its might. The silver beast was full of dissatisfaction. Seeing that its mouth was tough, it was unwilling to surrender for a while. Yi Bai could only helplessly say, "Da Bai, go and tie it up, and cook it slowly when you go back." After all, it is a rare monster with great potential. And Yi Bai tasted the benefits of hiring monsters to block employees. As long as there is a choice, generally do not want to kill. Grandpas have worked hard, come and take a rest. Yi Bai smiled and walked to the gold miners who were surrounding and discussing the harvest fiercely. Take out boxes of canned spinach from the system space, as well as Old Man La and Happiness red string. This rope is quite good, not only can it add 5 points of luck. It can also resist a fatal damage, although it will disappear. Everyone's homework is dangerous, so tie them up. Yi Bai gestured and tied the red rope to his left hand. In this way, the red rope in the left hand and the dragon whisker in the right hand will double the luck. Isn't this Popeye's favorite spinach? It's a pity he's not here, but with spinach, it shouldn't be far away. The Golden Brothers are quite familiar with canned spinach, and they are skilled in prying open them with knives. Teach the curious Maya to eat the spinach inside. Yi Bai was very interested in the Popeye who took on the role of force. Hearing this, his eyes lit up, and he hurriedly asked, "As the conditions met, then why can't I summon him? What else is missing?" The grandfathers looked at each other, touched their heads with their hands, and said in unison, "Sailors must have water, of course, and boats." Yi Bai was stunned. There is such a thing. And we have a lot of brothers working on ships and sailing across the 7 seas. Grandpa Jack explained. As he said, there are many marine treasures, so there are brothers full-time in this area. Yi Bai will definitely develop towards the ocean in the future, but now he can only suppress his mind. Yi Bai also tasted some spinach. The taste is much more delicious than usual, with a natural aroma. Very hungry, and filled with trace elements, more popular than Shengli water. The most popular among grandpas is of course the old man's music. One by one, they picked it up and tickled it. The joys visible to the naked eye +1, +2, +3. They are brothers, and they scratch each other like a bunch of old boys. Maya was still puzzled that it was so easy to use. While having fun, Yi Bai organizes the news. Surprised to find that 2 people have been promoted to silver, faster than him. Reminder. Your employee, Grandpa Jack, was successfully promoted to a silver-level miner due to mining the platinum star. With the blessing of the brothers, its strength is tenfolded. Reminder. Your employee Leopard Head was successfully promoted to silver warrior because of mining platinum star. The 2 employees number 1 and number 2 were promoted successively, and Yi Bai was also relieved. After the rest, you can try to explore around 100 meters, and you don't want to enter easily in the depths. If anyone feels uncomfortable, back off at any time. I'll go inside and look for Alice. Quote, say goodbye to everyone, let them be optimistic about the silver beast. Yi Bai took the pangolin for a quick dive. This time, I went straight to Wonglong and reached a depth of 200 meters. Reminder. You have gone deep into the canyon, and the 200-meter guard boss is waking up. Serious warning. The awakened monsters will be specially prepared as the invading enemy, and the enemy will be completely restrained in terms of attributes. Yi Bai raised his eyebrows. I am a light attribute, what restrains me, dark creature? While he was curious, I saw wisps of light wafting out from a stone wall, quickly combining into a group of dazzling rays of light. The pangolin felt dazzled and stepped back cautiously. Zhao Kai was curious about the light group, and reached out his hand to try to pat it. The appraisal technique quickly gave the result. This time the enemy was also of light attribute. Light elf, rare energy-shaped boss, high-grade silver, has extreme speed, extreme heat, and can also send out mental attacks. Is this repaying the person's body with the way of the person? Yi Bai's eyes were full of weirdness, but he wasn't too nervous. You are also an energy creature, so let me see who is stronger. Field of light. Yi Bai starts with a big move. The holy light from the sky emerges from the body, illuminating the underground world. Crazy deprivation of the light elves. The light spirit's energy was unstable, and it began to turn into a ray of light and rushed towards Yi Bai. When others encountered Yi Bai's extreme speed, it was indeed very difficult. So in a sense, it does restrain Yi Bai. But when he used the true speed of light after the fruit's awakening, everything settled down. A pure light blooms in the canyon. Yi Bai Wagwang traversed the Devil's Canyon, and was surprised to find that when I was at the speed of light, I couldn't feel the spiritual suppression of the demonic energy. Warning: you are currently at the speed of light, time is stagnant. The body is overloaded. Yi Bai's panel turned red, the countdown started quickly. Yi Bai lasted less than 3 seconds. However, in the process, he unexpectedly discovered that Lucky Fortune was in the same state as himself. I don't know if the talent is in effect. Time is limited. Yi Bai dare not make waves. Manipulate the light. This is an additional function after the fruit is awakened, which can manipulate the nearby light. As a superior person of the same attribute, the light spirit will not be deprived. But at the speed of light, the light elf is stagnant. In less than a second, it was sucked dry by Yi Bai. And it brought a surprise. You are absorbing high-quality energy of the same attribute. Your fruit power is enhanced. Its final skill, the giant of light, grows to 20 meters. Yi Bai feels that every cell in his body is filled with joy. This wave is not a loss. While he was warm all over, Lucky Fortune suddenly appeared, with a meow. He patted the happy master with his paw and reminded him. Yi Bai looked suspiciously and saw that in the stone wall where the light spirit was born, a multicolored aurora is passing by in a flash. What? Yi Bai was greatly surprised and did not dare to neglect. His body suddenly turned into light. He stretched out his hand, and at the last moment, Kankan caught this aurora. And when Yi Bai's body touched it, the aurora was passing through the palm. Quickly blend into its body and become one with it. At this moment, the reminder is long overdue. Reminder. With the blessings and reminders of the 5 fortune lucky cats, you have successfully discovered the colorful aurora of 200 meters hidden reward. The colorful aurora is 100% compatible with your physique and has been integrated with you. Yi Bai clearly felt the existence of that aurora, and he didn't know how long he had been wandering underground, full of ancient aura. It was like the first light from the beginning of the world, making Yi Bai's heart tremble. On the panel, he also added an entry. Colorful aurora, a mysterious light from the deepest part of the earth, coming through time. It has magical properties such as invincibility, extreme speed in the world, and nothing is indestructible, and the light of life. This is my natal artifact. Yi Bai was greatly surprised. Needless to say, he immediately thought of the usefulness of the aurora. Concentrate your mind, refine the aurora in your body, and quickly turn it into a dazzling sword. It didn't take long for a multicolored lightsaber with a length of 1.5 meters and a fluorescent light to appear in his hand. Yi Ping's already terrifying combat power and defense-breaking power have been repeated several times. Congratulations on you forging a growable natal lightsaber. The current level is Silver level lightsaber, not yet alive. In the future, you can upgrade by devouring all kinds of precious light and energy. Yi Bai swayed his lightsaber, waving colorfully, and the rock was easily cut in half. With the profusion of his own energy, he can still grow longer, and the current limit has reached 10 meters. I don't know if the giant form of light can continue to grow. Be low-key, just call it the multicolored Aurora Sword. After the upgrade, it will be called the Double Dragon Shadow Sword. Quote. Yi Bai looked at the weapon in his hand happily, and was extremely satisfied with the harvest in his heart. This lightsaber that pulls the wind basically meets his two needs of wearing B and being practical. Name: Colorful Aurora Sword. Level: Silver level weapon, Yi Bai's natal artifact. Skills: invincible, extending and lengthening, unlimited upgrades, flying with the sword. Fortune: you are my greatest blessing. After returning to Blue Star this time, you said that you can eat anything. Quote quote. Yi Bai put away the lightsaber and touched the cat's head with satisfaction. After patting Beizu, I chose to move on. Beizu can't speak human words, but still expresses the idea of resistance. Yi Bai knew in his heart that, as an abyss monster, he still had an instinctive fear of this place. Drive me as deep as you can, and I'll return as soon as I find Alice. 5. He has already made up his mind, he just entered the speed of light. Although at the cost of burning its own reserves of energy. But let him perceive the loopholes in the canyon. If there is a chance, Yi Bai would like to test whether he can steal chickens. The next time was boring and dark. As it went deeper, there was no more light around. Yi Bai is the only light in this place, 100 feet sneaked in trembling. There is some gold that can be picked up everywhere, but Yi Bai is too lazy to collect it. Now only some cards and rare treasures can attract his interest. After arriving here, Zhao Sai didn't sleep anymore, but was full of energy and looked around. Lucky, Alice is relying on you to find her. I'm quite worried about her. Although Alice can still be seen on the panel intact. But the dangerous environment still weighed heavily on Yi Bai's heart. The only thing that can comfort the soul is the occasional sound of digging from above. And the rubble, rocks, etc. that can be seen from time to time. It's still my grandfather's, take me to fly, and take me to make a fortune. Looking at the growing wealth, Yi Bai feels that today may be over. The total wealth of his own can reach 1 million, and if it is equivalent to star coins, it will not be less than 1 trillion. Among them, there are many priceless treasures that cannot be stored, such as longevity trees, golden dragon teeth rice, etc. Taking back the spirit, the value on the panel became more and more red. 210 meters, 220 meters, 290 meters. Until here, Beizu obviously couldn't support it. 100 pairs of feet trembled, and the environment alone made it frightened. Warning: the 300th meter guard boss is top silver. Yi Bai turned a blind eye, just held the lightsaber and patted Beizu. You come here. After going up, help the grandfathers to carry the ore, and be responsible for guarding the safety. Leave it to me here. Meow. Zhao Kai returned with an unhappy sentence, as if to say, I am with you. Yes, can't forget my baby. Yi 1.5 rubbed its head with a white smile, and chose to go straight in with a single sword. Not yet reached 300 meters. He suddenly felt a hot breath. From the darkness, the oncoming is a burst of blood-colored hellfire. This welcome ceremony is not a good one. A mere top silver can stop me. Yi Bai's art master is daring, does not dodge or dodge, and resists the fire of hell. Of course, the result of this is that the clothes turn to fly ash. But he himself was not injured at all, on the contrary, he still looked brilliant. This result, obviously beyond the boss's expectations, was accompanied by 3 roars. A 3-headed hell 3-headed dog with 3 heads roars and kills. It turned out to be the famous Hell Goalkeeper. It seems that the reward after level 300 is quite good. Yi Bai rushed forward without fear, the lightsaber in his hand suddenly became longer. The fluorescent light that wraps the sword body emits 5 colors. Yi Bai was wrapped in a domineering armament color, wrapped around a lightsaber, and strengthened again. Eat my sword first. At the moment when the two collided, Yi Bai changed direction in advance using the color of knowledge. But a somersault, passing over his head. At the same time, the lightsaber in his hand became longer, and it just cut off a head of the 3-headed dog. Hey! The multicolored Aurora sword did not disappoint Yi Bai, and cut off the neck of the Cerberus with precision. A dog's head burning with hellfire was cut off and rolled down the abyss. The 3-headed dog of hell, no, it should be the 2-headed dog of hell now, and was so scared that he backed away. 2 dog heads, one full of terror, the other full of pain. In a face-to-face kung fu, his own hellfire has no effect on the enemy, and a head is cut off. Me, the keeper of hell, shameless. You have successfully cut off the head of a hell dog and killed the 3-headed dog of hell, please make persistent efforts. This reminder made Yi Bai realize the extraordinariness of the boss. Not only is the top silver, but also comes with hellfire, and there are 3 lives. Even monsters of the same level are difficult to win, but when he encounters his prosperous self, he has suffered from blood mold for 8 lifetimes. Puppy, come on. Yi Bai is extremely satisfied with the power of the lightsaber, which can be long or short, with its own extreme heat and cutting properties. In addition, it is his own spiritual sacrifice, and it is driven like an arm. Although the two-headed dog was frightened, the proud bloodline of being a goalkeeper made it charge. Accompanied by 2 roars, the two-headed dog of hell spewed out raging flames. The entire abyss was dyed into a sea of lava and fire, and the figures of the 2 dogs of hell suddenly changed into 2. Together they ran towards Yi Bai. And in Yi Bai's eyes, both ends are the real body. It's not an illusion, it's the real body. In this way a double combat power, a powerful talent skill. Yi Bai perceives the truth through seeing and seeing. And he knew that if he hadn't cut off 1 head at the beginning, there should be 3 heads on the scene now. But now it is missing 1 head and lacks the stability of a triangle siege. Plus Yi Bai's speed is much higher than Cerberus. He just randomly accelerated the light. The 2 hellhounds couldn't catch him, they could only breathe fire to force him to show up. Flying swordsman. Yi Bai, who suddenly appeared from the head of the hell dog, put down the sword in his hand, and saw that he waved his finger lightly. The multicolored aurora sword suddenly pierced a hellhound like a flying sword with lightning speed. And at the moment of the stab, Yi Bai's thoughts moved. The aurora sword suddenly burst into light, like a light lotus blooming. Hundreds of thousands of aurora are stabbed out of the Cerberus body, and the opponent is stabbed into a sieve in an instant. Hundreds of blood columns spewed from the wound. The hellhound whimpered and turned into ashes. The last hellhound's eyes were full of horror, and instead of fighting, he tucked his tail and fled to the depths. You succeeded in killing the second life of the 3-headed dog of hell. The opponent was captured by your heroic spirit and is running away. Don't go, I haven't used my real effort yet. Yi Bai hurriedly flew forward to stop it, after having the aurora sword. You can also fly by driving it, fly with yourself. The previously flawed aerial warfare was gradually made up, and it was not afraid of insufficient long-range firepower. The 3-headed hellhound now has only 1 head. The majesty that he just appeared on the stage is no longer seen, but instead he runs away like a dog. And Yi Bai obviously didn't plan to let it go like this, but just when Yi Bai planned to kill the killer, Lucky suddenly jumped out of his arms to stop him. It treads on the snow with 4 hooves, floats in the sky, and is not afraid of hellfire at all. Barked to the hellhound in the air. Hope suddenly appeared in the desperate eyes of the Cerberus, and began to bark in response. My family recruits money and plans to recruit surrender. Yi Bai originally thought so, but after seeing them communicate. After the Cerberus suddenly barked excitedly, he dismissed the idea. Accompanied by a burst of barking cats and dogs. Just when Yi Bai lost his patience, 1 cat and 1 dog seemed to agree. The 3-headed dog of hell spat out a large white egg the size of an ostrich egg from its mouth, and suspended it in front of Yi Bai. And looked at him with sullen eyes. Question mark. Just when Yi Bai wondered what was going on, the news came. After a friendly exchange between your pet and the 3-headed dog of hell, the 3-headed dog of hell presented a holy pet egg to survive. Are you abiding by your pet's promise to let it live? Meow. Zhao Kai urged him. Yi Bai smiled and accepted the pet egg. Since my family is making money, I can spare you a life. Go, don't let me see you. Remember to keep your eyes open a little later. Quote. Hearing this, the dog of hell nodded hurriedly. He hurriedly fled to the depths of darkness and disappeared in a blink of an eye. Yi Bai pondered while holding the pet egg. Lucky, you hatched from this egg last time. Bring me so many gifts. I don't know what will hatch this time. Wouldn't it be the other way to make money? Then you have a wife. Hearing this, Lucky got in a hurry and meowed at him for a while. He also angrily stretched out his claws and scratched his face. A look of anger turned into anger, very humane. Just when Yi Bai was confused, he patted his head. It suddenly occurred to me that luck is the mother's. Ah, don't be angry. I'll give you an extra meal later. After a long commitment, an unequal agreement was signed to taste 100 kinds of cat food for free. The little guy finally calmed down. Choosing a day is worse than bumping into a day, being born earlier and getting a job earlier. Just when Yi Bai was about to hatch pet eggs, Lucky patted his paws to remind him. By the way, if you don't say it, I forgot to eat a grass to help. Yi Bai hesitated when he was about to take out the clover from the space, and his hand slowly moved towards the only one 5-leaf clover. Time waits for no one, and Alice hasn't found it yet. Why don't you wait now? After speaking, Yi Bai no longer hesitated, and quickly used the lucky clover. You have used the lucky 5-leaf clover, and your luck will be multiplied 50 times within an hour. Please seize the opportunity. As soon as he used it, Yi Bai found that there were gold bricks embedded in the soil in the corner. He didn't want to waste it, and quickly picked up the pet egg and ordered. Incubation. Accompanied by a familiar white light, the white eggshell shattered. Zhao Kai also looked at this scene curiously, as if thinking of his own birth. Wong. From the eggshell, a milky dog bark sounded. Yi Bai said in his heart that something was wrong. The sun, a celestial body. I was fooled by that vicious dog. You gave me a dog egg. Zhao Kai was also taken aback and shrank his head abruptly. Human and cat looked at each other, and both saw an ominous premonition in each other's eyes. As the eggshell is broken, one end is smaller than Lucky. Similar to the size of a domestic cat, a puppy with a soft golden retriever and a breed similar to a pastoral dog appeared. It licked its tongue and looked around curiously. Delighted, he threw himself into Yi Bai's arms and kept licking. What I don't want to meet is a cat's paw. Lucky doesn't even think that the other party is just born. Imposingly, he got into Yi Bai's arms, declaring his sovereignty. Yi Bai looked at the golden retriever puppy and smiled bitterly. Although it is not as vicious as the 3-headed dog of hell, it is definitely not cute and can only be described as ordinary. However, the reminder that followed made him feel that 50 times the luck was not in vain. Congratulations, with the blessing of Super Lucky, you have successfully hatched a strange auspicious beast that has never been born, the dog of heaven. Divine beasts are hard to come by, please treat them kindly. Seeing that the cat had taken his place, the dog of paradise was standing on the rock with tears in his eyes. Yi Bai picked it up in surprise, took out a box of vigorous spinach and opened it. Come on, let me Kong what kind of alien you are. Golden Retriever has just been born and is hungry. Licking his tongue and eating spinach, his eyes suddenly lit up. Name: Dog of Paradise. Level: Elementary Silver. Category: Alien Auspicious Beast. Newly born Auspicious Beast, there is no record, the only one. Host: Yi Bai. Loyalty value: 100. Attributes: Strength 150, Spirit 195, Constitution 160, Agility 200. Innate skill: Shit luck. As a newly born auspicious beast, it has an extremely rare ability. Not only can it bring a 1% increase in the owner's wealth every day, will occasionally bless the owner to pick up gold, silver, and even other treasures. In daily adventures, I often find treasures that others have missed. Highlight an unexpected and unexplorable. Closing parenthesis. Lucky Star Gaojiao, the dog of paradise, is covered by lucky stars, so it is safe from disasters and harmless, and at the same time has its own flying and stepping abilities. During the battle, it can trigger a small probability of lucky time. It can also protect the main house. Closing parenthesis. Treasure hunt. The dog's strongest skill is currently strengthened to the limit under high luck. A pair of noses can not only smell ordinary smells and find traces, but also find treasures. Closing parenthesis closing square bracket. Description. It seems that the original egg is the egg of a hellhound. I don't know what unrepeatable accident happened due to chance. The birth of the first dog of paradise in the underground world, perhaps we should observe the follow-up development to see if it can continue to evolve. Haha, you are still the first dog of paradise. Incredible, much better than the goalkeeper. After reading the introduction, Yi Bai's eyes suddenly lit up. My own mind now has two favorite groups, and they can complement each other. Leave the yellow on the left and the cat on the right, where in the world cannot go. And the meaning of this pet's birth is obviously more important than Yi Bai thought. This is followed by a brand new world announcement. World announcement. Congratulations to Yi Bai's bravery in the 300th level of the Devil's Grand Canyon. Trigger the hidden story and successfully get the second holy pet egg. Under the blessing of Super Lucky, a brand new auspicious beast is hatched, the first dog of heaven in the underground world. Congratulations to the world for another lucky beast. In order to reward its feat, a mysterious item is specially awarded, the rope of blessing from the god of love. This news made everyone stunned. They had seized the treasure before and saw Yi Bai's wealth soaring. Everyone has been numb, and now they are making trouble for them. Who does not know the value of an auspicious beast can make a consortium flourish? Now Yi Bai has 2 heads. And listening to the meaning of the announcement, the auspicious beast this time is no trivial matter. What's the situation? Yi Shen has another pet. How high is his luck value? And he has created a new species of auspicious beasts. Gee, I don't know how the dog of paradise compares to the lucky cat, colorful koi and the like. Quote, I guess if the outside world knew that this dog was there, those consortiums would definitely grab it. There was a lot of discussion in the chat room, and everyone was talking about Yi Bai's achievements in this trip. Curious about where the SSS level map is and how it is so precious. Many people are in a sour mood, but ask who is in the worst mood. Naturally, it is the second generation of mines who have invested in gambling contracts such as Ningjing. Shit, where did Johnson die? People's wealth is about to increase to 1 million, how about you? While they privately messaged Johnson and cursed, they sent messages to Yi Bai to ask for help, trying to recover their losses. If the family knew about this trial, they would lose all their fortune, and they don't know what kind of punishment they would have. God, you are killing me. The impulsive Johnson has been trapped in a Jedi, not to mention finding the treasure to return to the original, and even surviving. At this moment, he could not wait to slap himself a few times. Why was he fascinated for a while, and he was coveting Yi Bai's wealth and betting against people? Is it just because the other party is a civilian and has no foundation? Yi Bai naturally didn't know his regret, he was looking at the dog of paradise. Seeing him licking his tongue after eating canned spinach, he was still hungry. Yi Bai kindly took out the reserve food from the space ring, which was the rare king carp meat. Immediately he wagged his tail happily. The little guy in his arms is also jealous and wants to eat. Yi Bai simply took more, grabbed a pet in one hand, and said with a smile. In the future, as the 2 of you are the guardians of the left and right houses in the mine, you should have a good relationship. After thinking about it, Yi Bai continued. Since the cat's name is Jiaosai, you can call it Wonkai in the future. Don't let me down. After all, he took out a pickaxe that Alice had used before from the space ring and handed it to Wonkai's nose. Come, smell it well, and find its owner. No dog food is free. If there was an animal association in this world, Yi Bai would definitely be arrested. Because he put a dog that was not 3 minutes old to work. Prosperity did not disappoint Yi Bai, it made up for some of the missing features of lucky fortune. After sniffing for a while, he turned his head, followed the smell, and went deeper into the canyon. Yi Bai was suddenly shocked and hurriedly grabbed the lucky charm. Go and find Alice. Above Yi Bai, the gold miners are working hard. From time to time, you can still see the sound from the bottom of the valley, and even sparks and dog barks. I don't know if the mine owner has found Alice. While talking, Grandpa Jack put another treasure chest of jewels on Beizu's back. At this moment, the 100-footed Demon King has already carried more than 10 boxes of treasure boxes on his back. Because it is strong and convenient, it is very popular among grandpas. In the 100-meter platform, a group of white-bearded grandfathers were struggling to dig. Occasionally, there are people who are promoted to silver, and there are ignorant monsters who want to attack, but they are easily crushed by the original overlord Beizu. Under their labor, dozens of hills of gold have been piled up on the edge of the cliff. Maya is patrolling it with the moles. Because they were trapped in their spirits, they couldn't stay as long as their grandfathers. I hope Sister Alice comes back soon. Quote, when Yi Bai was in the valley at this time, with the help of Wang Kai, he was able to find Alice. As you dive deeper and deeper into the panel, the surrounding pressure also increases. In a blink of an eye, it was 390 meters deep. At this time, Wang Kai stopped, sniffed the front with his nose, and ran back vigilantly to report to Yi Bai. As Alice trapped here, Yi Bai frowned, he saw a rock platform protruding here. Scattered can also see a cave that has been excavated. Even worse, by division. Starting from the goalkeeper of hell, this is a watershed, there are junior gold boss guards. And Alice is obviously in a bad situation here. Go, be careful with me. The black mist around you is getting thicker and thicker. This is a highly condensed magic energy, be careful to get lost. Quote. Yi Bai greeted the two pets and stood on Wang Kai's back. The newly born Wang Kai has grown to the size of an ordinary thin domestic dog after eating a meal just now, and he can afford to be lucky. Yi Bai holds a lightsaber, his whole body glows. Always be ready to use the field of light to dispel the dark fog. Warning. You have reached the bottom of the valley 400 meters, and there will be a golden boss guard here. Please retreat quickly. Yi Bai turned a blind eye, but was excited to hear it. I want to use this to find traces of Alice. Not to mention, after the two are close to each other. Yi Bai clearly felt that Alice was in a certain corner, with a hint of prosperous wealth. He walked slowly towards a cave. Suddenly, there is a bright light ahead. A flaming fireball spewed out of the hole. Take two pets and fry them in shock. Yi Bai's sense of sight sensed the attack one step ahead of time, and slashed it with a lightsaber. Unexpectedly, this fireball was so powerful that after it was cut in half, it continued to attack him and attract wealth. Not bad power, it's been down for so long. Finally a threatening monster came. Just as Yi Bai was planning to use the laser cannon to surround the cave, unexpectedly, the opponent's attack suddenly stopped. A familiar soft voice sounded. Brother mine owner, it's you. Don't do it, I thought it was another enemy. I saw a familiar figure walking out of the cave, it was the missing Alice. But now she is wearing a luxurious red dress, elegant and dangerous. It made Yi Bai wonder if he was seeing the wrong person. Serious warning. The 400th meter guard boss, primary gold, red dragon warlock Alice is coming, please escape quickly. Yi Bai. Meow. On the contrary, Zhao Kai was the first to react and jumped up happily. He threw himself into Alice's arms, causing the beauty to chuckle. Hee hee, lucky, I haven't seen you for a while. Are you getting fat again? Wang Kai didn't know that this was his companion, so he hid behind Yi Bai with a little fear. Yi Bai also noticed that behind Alice, there were also a group of kobold warriors armed with stone axes, stone spears and kobolds. They were looking at Yi Bai fearfully, slightly hostile. Yi Bai asked in great confusion. What's the matter with Alice? You've fallen so deep. Also received a group of kobolds. Wait, have you advanced to gold? Yi Bai only reacted at this time. Hell, he's just bronze himself. Not to mention that his subordinates have been promoted to the silver level one after another, and now Alice is a gold boss. A little bit. Alice picked up lucky fortune and needed for a while, then said with a smile. Brother mine owner, when you went to pick up Grandpa and the others, I was attracted by an aura that was close to my blood, and I arrived here unconsciously. There used to be a group of kobolds in charge of guarding it, and there was also an epic red dragon skeleton hidden. I don't know if it's a good match for me, and later turned into fly ash. The essence of the skeleton melts into me. My profession has also advanced, and I have the power of the red dragon. Quote. Saying that, Alice stretched out her right hand. I saw that with the movement of her thoughts, a dense layer of dragon scales quickly appeared on the surface of her fair-skinned right hand. Its reflective luster is chilling at first sight. Brother, I'm becoming more and more inhuman, so don't despise me in the future. Alice took back the dragon scales with a bit of resentment. Yi Bai is playing haha. How could it be? It's just that the grandfathers are working 100 meters away and are a little worried about your safety. Meanwhile, he checked Alice's occupation. Red Dragon Vein Warlock. After the Dragon Vein Warlock advances, he will master the power of the strongest red dragon among the 5 color dragons. It can evolve dragon transformation, speak dragon language, etc., and its strength is 10 times stronger than that of ordinary Dragon Vein Warlocks. Follow-up can be continuously promoted by absorbing the blood of different 5 color dragons. Hee hee, you will be the #1 expert in our mine from now on. Yi Bai couldn't help but smile when he saw this. What surprised him even more was that the kobold captured by Alice contained thin dragon blood. Its strength is not bad, and there is even a silver-level kobold sacrifice. A special A-rank card was created. Brother, this is the card. This group of kobolds can multiply quickly as long as they can provide food. There will be no shortage of coolies in our mines in the future. Alice smiled wickedly and took out a card from her pocket. Yi Bai stretched out his hand to take it, only to see the dark color on the card, depicting a group of kobolds holding stone axes in a mountain cave, quite plain. A litter of kobolds A-level monster card. It contains a silver-level kobold sacrifice and 99 bronze-level kobold warriors. Li Qian's don't look at his appearance, but kobolds are famous for being able to live. Give it plenty of food for a winter time. They can give you thousands of kobold tribes. Congratulations on getting a group of the best coolies, they only need food and water, they will work hard without complaining. Yi Bai's face is strange, the number of people in the mine is increasing. But it seems that the proportion of humans and monsters is completely reversed. He handed the card back to Alice. This is the monster card you captured, of course it belongs to you. They will be your employees in the future, be careful to arrange for kobolds not to destroy crops. Quote, quote. Alice took it a little bewildered. By the way, Alice, come up quickly. Grandpa Jack, they are worried about you. If you are not familiar with the way, I will leave the fortune to you. Quote. Seeing that Alice was fine, she got an adventure instead. Yi Bai feels relieved and intends to let go of his own adventure plan, Chin. Alice is a little surprised. Brother mine owner, do you still want to go down? The weakest below are all intermediate gold, and we have gained enough this trip. Quote, quote. There are still 2 or 3 hours left, and it's a pity that we didn't investigate clearly this time. You can rest assured that I have a number, no matter what, I have the confidence to retreat. Quote, quote. Yi Bai touched Wang Kai's dog's head, his eyes full of confidence. Now that Yi Bai's intention to go is decided, Alice can't persuade him. She could only use cards to take away all the kobolds and prepare to leave first. Do you want wealth to guide you? Yi Bai patted the dog's head. No, just fly up. It would be too stupid to get lost like this. With a puff from Alice's back, a pair of scarlet dragon wings grew. Between the fanning and the gust of wind, flying to the sky, the figure disappeared after a while, and only one sentence came. Brother, remember to come back early. Alice isn't stronger than me now, is she? Yi Bai retracted his surprised eyes, and told Zhao Sai and Wang Kai. Next, I'm going to enter a state of extreme speed, and you try to hide in my pet space. You can't meet without meeting the boss. We're here to hunt for treasure, not to fight. Quote. The pet space Yi Bai is rarely used, in fact, it can also hold pets. It's just that Lucky didn't like to stay in it before, so it's similar to a small black house. Now it's dangerous here, they can only go first. After everything settles down, Yi Bai shines alone. He decided to take advantage of the trick, first of all to use the sword function of the natal artifact. Let the Aurora sword fly with you at extreme speed. Whoosh, I saw that with an aurora blooming, a flash passed in the darkness. Yi Bai's panel numbers are rapidly doubling, entering this state. Even the mental suppression is much smaller. 410 meters, 420 meters, 0.460 meters, 0.490 meters. It was not until the 500-meter mark that Yi Bai slowed down. But he didn't dare to stay for a long time, because he entered by chance, and many monsters along the way hadn't noticed. If you guessed correctly, this is the mid-level Golden Boss Guard. Maybe the position is important, and the monsters have been strengthened. Invincible. Yi Bai doesn't know how many layers there are below, so he can only try his best to go down. Anyway, there must be good things below. He communicated about the fortune and prosperity in the pet space, and asked them to pay more attention. Tell yourself the first time you smell a treasure. After giving the order, Yi Bai flew with his sword and turned into a streamer state. And just in case, his knowledge and armed colors are fully open. Like a black lightsaber, it passed through the barrier in an instant. Yi Bai turned a blind eye to the warning in his ear. The knowledge and color told him that there was a super monster hidden here, sleeping in the dark. Yi Bai did not dare to neglect, under the triple guidance of seeing and seeing, attracting wealth, and prosperous wealth. Quickly grope in a certain direction. During this process, the alarm bell rose in his heart. Yi Bai knew that the boss was waking up. What are you afraid of? I have a body of elements, and I have more inverse scales. The worst thing is to retreat. Yi Bai comforted himself in such a way that he was reluctant to let his children fall for the wolf. Soon, he saw a hidden card from inside a rock. Yi Bai didn't dare to neglect, and decisively broke the rock with his lightsaber and held this card. This action also shocked the 500 level boss. With a roar, the darkness here suddenly boiled. Slip away. Yi Bai's art master is bold, and after getting the treasure, he suddenly flew deeper. If there are other people here, they must take a deep breath. Below this, but high-grade gold. And Yi Bai is just a bronze creature at present, a difference of 2 major steps. Yi Bai didn't realize that in such a thrilling adventure, his arrogance also changed rapidly. At this moment, he put his mind on the cards in his hand, and he would have time to check it after he had penetrated more than 500 meters. I saw on the card, the background was dark green. A full moon hangs in the sky, and the moonlight is bright, shining on the beautiful pond on the ground. There are lotus leaves and lotus flowers on the pond, and the carp jumps in the pond, splashing ripples like a moonlight drape. A lotus flower in the center of the lotus pond blooms. A beautiful little girl the size of a thumb, wearing a petal skirt, is dancing in the moonlight. The cards are very artistic, and they are lovely at first sight. Lotus Pond Moonlight. The S+ level territory card is a beautiful lotus pond. Can produce fixed rare carp, snail, lotus root every day. It can bring luck to the owner and attract spiritual creatures. Comes with a special elf, Thumbelina. Yi Bai was greatly shocked, and he took out an S+ rank card. And it looks amazing. This card is obviously much more special than the General Lord card. No, the world announcement that just stopped sounded again. World announcement. Congratulations to the gold miner Yi Bai for taking a chance, not fighting the monster head-on, and winning a mysterious S+ rank card, Moonlight in the Lotus Pond, by coincidence. The Lotus Pond is beautiful and has various hidden functions. Go to Yi Bai and make good use of it. Its value is estimated to be 90,000 points. Congratulations to Yi Bai's total wealth value reaching 1 million wealth points, which is a new record in history. The estimated value of this card is very high, and the commercial value it contains is extremely high. Yi Bai is still unclear. But there is also a thing to be learned from caustic world assessments. In sum, the value of his wealth has reached 1 million. You know, when I just came here, it was only a few 100,000. This SSS level map contributed most of its funds to itself. Not to mention him, even the other gold diggers are not angry. Worry, where is that Devil's Grand Canyon? Brothers guys, go digging. Crazy, Yi Shen is crazy, he is super god. After evacuating the abyss, we only know so much, what do we not know? Does he want to go to the sky in one step? Johnson is an idiot, and he wants to be a car with a man's arm, and everyone will run over him for a fraction of the time. The Phoenix Bloodstone, Meteorite Crystal, and even the massive wealth he picked up by the great luck will make wedding dresses for others. The gold diggers were both speechless and envious. And Yi Bai's surprise for them is obviously more than that, because he dives again. After having a CJBF experience of touching gold once, he is familiar with it. Burning the spiral force, constantly accelerating the Aurora sword, the human and sword are united, and it drives itself into a beam of light. A flash in the dark. And his own panel has become more and more blood red. 560 meters, 570 meters, even 600 meters. This was another big milestone Yi Bai didn't dare to neglect, after greeting the 2 pets in advance. He fell into the 600th level. He didn't want to fight the monster head-on, he just wanted to get money. The high-grade gold is guarded here, and Yi Bai originally had a look. Just as he was about to wipe it out towards a cave, he unexpectedly had a majestic spirit ready to go. After a long period of spiritual tempering and absorbing magic energy, your domineering arrogance has been further developed. Advanced Overlord Color Domineering. A magnificent aura erupted from Yi Bai. It woke up all the monsters around, including a rock giant that was 8 or 9 meters high. Yi Bai sighed secretly, why did you get promoted at this time? But this is a good thing after all. I saw a domineering aura mixed with abyss, and the temperament of a king suddenly spread from Yi Bai. It was as if air bombs burst out in the canyon, stunning some weak monsters. Even if the rock giant was dizzy for a while, he was stunned for a short time and couldn't react. You know, it's premium gold, and it has home field advantage. Yi Bai didn't take the opportunity to attack, but quickened his movements and collected the treasures here. Congratulations on your success in winning the 600 level grand prize, a mysterious silver key, estimated value, 1. Unknown purpose, only for collection, the only commendable thing is that it is hard enough. Yi Bai was surprised when he looked at the familiar key in his hand. This is the same series as the bronze key. The problem is that the key is to open. I don't even know where the keyhole is. Then they are scrap iron. Quote. Yi Bai threw it into the system space to eat ashes. Afterwards, taking advantage of the boss's dizziness, he continued to wander inside. This time, Overlord was promoted to senior level. Yi Bai can precisely control the Overlord color to cover the surface of the whole body, forming an Overlord color armor. It has strong resistance to the spiritual attack of the canyon. And this time his goal is 700 meters. The guard boss there will be the top gold level. This is an unimagined path. Yi Bai didn't even know that his guts were so fat before he got to the canyon. It can only be said that wealth is attractive. The next journey is fleeting. The light transformed by Yi Bai became the only light in this place. Occasionally, there are ignorant monsters blocking the way, and he is instantly pierced by him. The darkness around him remains unchanged, the only thing that can prove his action. There are only more and more blood-red panels, and the countdown to drip blood. I don't know if the 5-leaf clover works. At level 700, Yi Bai did not encounter any risk either. Kankan found the treasure here, and Yi Bai was overjoyed when he saw it. Ha ha ha, it's finally here. One more piece, and I'll have the SSS level card set. Yi Bai's hand is like a longevity tree. It painted a similar dish planted, with a trunk like a pine tree with lush foliage. The whole body is golden, and it is covered with various inverted paintings of the word, Fu. And this time, the system's congratulations were extraordinarily festive, like a festive feast, with fireworks blasting off the panel. Ding ding dong, ding ding dong. Congratulations to you. With the blessing of Super Lucky and the blessing of 2 special auspicious beasts, you have successfully drawn the S+ special card, Fukushu, with 700 hidden rewards. 5 blessings are coming, blessings are here. Congratulations, your luck is permanently +100. Planting the blessing tree in the territory will fully bless the luck of the products and characters in the territory. Touching this card made Yi Bai feel happy. He felt that he could be transferred to Emperor O. No matter how lucky he was, with the blessing of fortune. I am afraid that if I pass through a thicket of arrows, I will not be able to wear my body. And when he saw the effect of the blessing tree, Yi Bai laughed even more. Of course, even faster than him, there are still world announcements that continue to sound. World announcement. Congratulations to Yi Bai for being blessed by Goddess of Luck and successfully touching the blessed tree of the SSS level card suit series. Blessed to go to the gold mine, Yi Bai will not be afraid of curses and bad luck, and will naturally defend against all kinds of curses. Hope Yi Bai will make persistent efforts. If he finds Lu Shu, he will be able to synthesize SSS level Fu Lu Shou. I'm dizzy, but I didn't see the danger on the SSS level map of Yi Shen. There are a lot of babies, even the SSS suits are out. This is a national treasure by the state. Not to mention the entire Yan nation, Blue Star does not have a few sets. Fu, Lu and Shou are in charge of luck, money, and longevity. Tisk tisk, if you donate it, you might be able to control dozens of big cities. Quote. Look, Boss Yi's wealth has reached 1.1 million points, and Fukushu was judged to be 100,000 points. I'm curious now, how high is Boss Yi's lucky value with this blessing? Everyone is guessing where the Devil's Grand Canyon is, and many people want to share a piece of the pie. Many foreign gold diggers were even more anxious, and kept sending private messages to ask if Yi Bai's coordinates could be sold. They realized that map is enough to change the fate of a country. And those who participated in the gambling contract such as Johnson were completely desperate, and even sent private messages to reconcile. Yi Minor, I was wrong. You should never bet against you and challenge you for a while. There is a saying in your family Yangguo, adults do not remember the deeds of villains. You let me go, as long as you can cancel the bet. Then after I go back, I will definitely set up a banquet of 300 people to apologize to you. Quote quote. Yi Bai naturally did not receive his private message. He is busy counting the harvest. The function of the fuka in the hand is very similar to that of the shuka, but in a different direction. Name: Fukushu. Category: Immortal Tree, one of the three major remets of Fu Lu Shou Tree. Level: S+ level, such as Fushu, Lushu, and Shoshu combined, it will be turned into an SSS level suit. Effect: Blessed fell, those who possess the blessed tree are sheltered by blessing. In addition to blessing luck, the master has extremely high immunity to various negative conditions, and has a chance to trigger blessing events. Closing parenthesis. Langwan Blessed Land, the place where the blessed tree is planted will gradually transform the territory. Bless the luck of everyone and everything. Greatly increase the yield of plants. Eliminate the possibility of accidents for employees, and there is a greater chance of breakthroughs, upgrades, and treasure digging. Closing parenthesis. 5 fukas after the blessing tree is planted, it will bear blessings from time to time. Fuka has its own lucky value, and it can also protect the host from disaster once. Closing parenthesis closing square bracket. Description: It is branched from the same immortal medicine as the longevity tree and is very popular. If you can get 3 divine trees together, there may be unexpected joy. I don't know what Foka looks like, but it may be an upgraded version of the lucky red rope. Yi Bai pondered that Fuqua would be a unique product of gold mines in the future. Hopefully I can find Lu Shu next. After Yi Bai succeeded, he started to accelerate again and rushed deeper. He's going to finish here today. But starting from 700 meters, Yi Bai's sight gave him a crazy warning. Because the monsters that go down can have a fatal threat to him and can break the elementalization. Because the gatekeeper boss will surpass gold and become platinum creatures. According to Yi Bai's understanding, such creatures have initially gotten rid of flesh and blood. Begins to become extraordinary, able to have special domain power and contact with a certain aspect of the law. With the help of home field advantage, it can play the ability to destroy a city. And as expected, his successive actions seemed to provoke the will of the canyon unintentionally. Obviously in the state of Aurora, at least more than 100 times the speed of sound. But the surrounding demonic energy continued to entangle him as if alive. Serious warning. Your repeated provocations. Seize the hidden treasures of the canyon and treat the guardian as nothing. The counterattack of the canyon itself has been seriously caused, and the following difficulty will be changed to SSS plus level. Now retreat, there is still a chance of life. Control your desires and be yourself. The panel had turned blood red, symbolizing extreme danger, and Yi Bai felt that the surrounding air was very oppressive. He was sure that if it wasn't for the Overlord domineering promotion once, then you will definitely be in a negative state now. Don't dare to wave. You can only use the killer. Yi Bai stopped at a corner at 750 meters. First, I checked that the 5-leaf clover's 50 times lucky effect was still there, and then I looked at the equipment, inverse scales and other life-saving items on the body. After that, let me explain the 2 pets. Conventional means are already the limit here. What Yi Bai has to do next is to pinch bug. He brought himself a few cans of canned spinach and filled it with Shengli water. The rare fruits and consumable items stored in the previous days were all used in one breath. For a time, the suppressed breath in my heart was swept away. His vigor has improved significantly by 3 points. Let me see where the ultimate power of the devil fruit is. The auger in Yi Bai's body is spinning wildly, although he is top bronze. But the energy on his body can be said to be the combination of more than 100 top bronzes. Otherwise, there is no such strong combat power. Now, driven by the spiral force, every cell in the body seems to be turned into a particle of light. The ability of the awakened fruit, the realm of light unfolds. He himself is shining like the sun, shining brightly here. Before the other monsters could react, Yi Bai himself had disappeared. True light speed. This is Yi Bai's means of pressing the bottom of the box. At this time, his state is walking with time, and everything around him seems to stop. The energy was consumed like fuel, and a terrible countdown appeared on the blood-colored panel. 6 seconds. This is the time Yi Bai can support at present. It stands to reason. 1,000 miles in an instant at the speed of light, and 1,000,000 kilometers in 6 seconds. But the Devil's Great Rift is not a vegetarian, and the mysterious energy blocks his progress. Even so, Yi Bai was still falling at extreme speed. 780,790,800. At this level, Yi Bai has not stopped. He didn't pick up the treasures here, because he knew that he only had one chance. Opportunity can only be used once, I can only pause once. Then go to the deepest part of the canyon. He didn't know how deep it was. Just want to explore the end. With the bloody countdown, 810 meters, 820 meters, 0.850 meters, 0.900 meters. Here is already the suppression of the intermediate diamond boss. Yi Bai saw a super bull demon king who was more than 10 meters tall and held a stone axe. The bull demon king was asleep, without a trace of movement. At the speed of light, he didn't notice any bugs flashing past. Yi Bai turned a blind eye to the warning ringing frantically in his ears. At the speed of light, he felt that he was omnipotent. 1,000 meters of canyons. This is obviously a watershed, and what is even more amazing is that Yi Bai didn't plan to stop at all. Cross over in an instant. Not only it, Yi Bai, who is addicted to the speed of light, is like entering a state of ecstasy. He didn't expect to play so crazy. 1,100 meters, 1,200 meters, 1,300 meters, 1,500 meters. In just 2 seconds in the past, Yi Bai actually crossed 2,000 meters. And the breath here is suffocating. If Yi Bai guessed correctly, the boss guarding here is the Holy Order. Only one chance. Yi Bai made a good estimate in his heart, leaving 2 seconds for the return journey, and continued to deepen his mind. I don't even think about how deep it is, and when he reacts instinctively. When I saw that the color was not good, I had already penetrated 5,000 meters into this place. You have gone 5 kilometers deep into the canyon, please leave your last words. The panel no longer warns, as if giving up. Yi Bai slowly exited the speed of light state. Here, the darkness is watery and viscerally uncomfortable. He didn't have time to think about it, he just echoed the 2 pets in his heart. Fortune, prosperity, come out and find treasure for me. At present, Yi Bai is still in the state of light particles, between the virtual and the real. He didn't dare to let the 2 pets come out, just sticking out his head carefully. How high is Yi Bai's current lucky stack? He suspects that he is currently the tallest among human beings. 5 fortune lucky cats plus dogs of heaven plus lucky trees plus lucky clover plus advanced spotlight plus platinum stars, etc. And in such a state, obviously nothing will be ignored. Within 1,000th of a second, Yi Bai saw a stone sculpture from the depths of the stone wall. Mysterious stone statue, the inexplicable stone sculpture buried in the depths of the abyss. 0. Suspected of being sealed by the god-level petrification technique, he will sleep until the end of time. Comprehensive valuation. 1. It is just that the material is immortal, it has only collection significance, and has no substantive significance. Grass. After seeing the information, Yi Bai called out nonsense. But now he didn't bother to study it carefully. The Aurora sword appeared in his right hand. The Aurora sword rotates as fast as turning its head, and the stone carving is dug out in an instant. This is suspected to be a female statue, with tall and straight facial features, an extremely beautiful face, and a slender figure. Even though it has been sealed for tens of thousands of years, it still has an awe-inspiring temperament. Yi Bai didn't bother to study, he wanted to throw it into the system space. I found that I couldn't let it go, and in a hurry, I could only throw it into the space ring. At this time, he got goosebumps all over. There is an unprecedented shock from seeing and hearing. The super boss at level 5000 has noticed something. Who disturbed my sweet dreams? It seems that some nasty little bug has broken into this place. In the dark night, as hell descended, a blood-red devil's eye appeared, and the entire canyon began to shake. A big earthquake started on the cliffs on both sides of the strait, rolling stones and dust frequently fell. You are dead, Devil Grand Canyon, the first Abyss Lord Primary Epic, the top demon race, the lava Balrog awakens. With the rising blood cloud, hell, and sea of blood, the boss formation shows its true appearance. This is a head more than 100 meters long, covered with lava. The surrounding temperature is as high as several kilometers, and the super devil awakened from hell. Yi Bai guessed before, what kind of boss should the SSS level map match? At the time, I thought it might be the legendary Balrog, but later I thought it was too nonsense. Isn't this thing the ultimate goal of the protagonist's final adventure? It's too early. Moreover, the difficulty of this SSS is also relative to the current newcomer zone, which will not be too abnormal. But Yi Bai now finds that sometimes he can't take chances. Yi Bai has already exited the speed of light at this time. The mysterious female statue is still in his hand, and has not been completely collected by the space ring. Looking at this treasure whose value is 1. He felt a little dry for a while, and he didn't know if it was the hot breath brought by the flame demon. He hesitated slightly and said, "If I say it's a misunderstanding, give her back to you, can you let me go back now?" The lava Balrog slowly stood up from the canyon, and its huge 100-meter demon body completely covered Yi Bai's figure. The demon halo that comes with it is chilling. In addition, the flames of demons burning around the body, the realm of hell, and the heavy suppression from the world's top bloodline, all made Yi Bai tremble all over. There is no doubt that there is a gap between bronze and epic. There is still a difference between silver, gold, platinum, diamond, holy order. The distance between the two is more than the sky and the earth. Lava Balrog just looked at Yi Bai coldly. The stone statue in Yi Bai's hand was taken away by the space ring, and he felt that this wave of blood was lost. Dive at all costs, and finally get this result. More importantly, it is now being targeted by the boss. You have an aura that I hate, although I don't know how you got here. But that's it. Quote, the lava Balrog seemed very calm, but he stretched out his arm made of lava and suddenly slapped Yi Bai. It's as casual as killing an ant, and I don't even want to take a second look. With his attack, Yi Bai obviously felt the surrounding space tighten. All his hidden chi machines were sealed. He smelled the sulfurous smell of magma, smelled the breath of death. There's no other way but to go back. Just as Yi Bai gritted his teeth and planned to use the last 580s to escape from the bottom of the box, unexpectedly, a dog bark suddenly came. At the same time, Yi Bai heard a reminder. Your pet's talent for wealth is in effect. You accidentally discovered a mysterious threshold hidden here. Obviously under threat of death, Yi Bai's perspective suddenly fell to a corner of the stone wall. That is the ultimate hidden treasure, itself buried in rocks. Now when the lava Balrog appears, its anger burns the surrounding stone walls to show 1 or 2. It seems to be an ancient gate of God. Only one cyan edge is exposed, and you can vaguely see its extraordinary material. A line of small characters appeared in front of Yi Bai. Gate of Hell, world-class props, opening the world-class event, recovery of ancient ruins. Yi Bai knew it was right the first time he saw it. He will get it no matter what. Transform. In an instant, Yi Bai's body exploded. Lava Balrog was a little uncomfortable with the light, and a pair of lava-like eyes narrowed slightly. The light I hate the most. His palm squeezed again. But at this time, Yi Bai in the field had disappeared. The one who appeared on the spot was a man who was 20 meters high. A giant of light who burns holy light throughout his body and holds a colorful aurora sword in his hand. Reminder: you have turned into a giant of light and are consuming the energy of light stored in the fruit. The strength is fully multiplied tenfold, and the duration can be maintained for 3 minutes. From now on, I'm a 3-point Superman. Yi Bai's state was unprecedentedly good, and his arrogance were brought to the extreme. The next second in the future has been summoned, and he will be grasped by the flame demon and strangled to death. In 1,000th of a second, he entered the state of the speed of light. Only in this way can we not be suppressed by the domain and advanced level. Kankin dodged this blow. At this moment, Yi Bai felt that the blood he had been immersed in for a long time was burning. Not only is the weak attacking the strong, but also the courage to use the sword in the face of an invincible enemy. The Balrog is the headed demon in hell and can be called the king of demons. Its blood is the race with the dragon and the top of demon. It can be called the ultimate darkness, and it is also Yi Bai's old enemy. Under various factors, Yi Bai seemed to have entered a supernatural state at this moment. A dazzling light of upgrade shrouded his body, and a swirling force of heaven and earth was propped up under his feet. News came one after another in his ears. Congratulations on your fearless and courageous breaking through the gate of evolution. You have successfully evolved into a silver-level creature. Congratulations on your high-level knowledge and domineering under the oppression of life and death. Successfully evolved to the top site, you can spy on the future of battle. The level that has been suppressed for a long time is broken through like this, and all it takes is the courage to shine a sword. Yi Bai was able to dodge this blow, obviously beyond the Balrog's expectations. He is a dignified epic demon king, and the top race in hell. And this little human is not even gold. For a while, in a fit of anger, Lava Balrog's nostrils spurted lava, and its head burned like a volcanic eruption. Human, you pissed me off. And the next scene made the overlord even more angry. I saw that Yi Bai, who had escaped a blow, did not escape, but turned around. At a corner, he was struggling to drag a threshold. The gate of hell is far bigger than Yi Bai thought, buried in the earth for an unknown number of meters. If it is not in the form of a giant of light, he may not be able to pull it out. Even with his strength tenfolded, Yi Bai's muscles exploded and his whole body burst into a spiral force. The gate of hell is worthy of revealing its true form. Get up. Boom. Along with the ground shaking, the cliffs collapsed in pieces. This canyon seems to be crashing. The faces of the gold miners, Alice and the others above their heads changed drastically. Grandpa, stop digging. The mine owner's brother is causing trouble down there, let's come up first. Alice spread her dragon wings behind her back and flew. Holding a grandfather in one hand, he quickly rescued people from the collapsed 100-meter platform. The machines don't care about them, it's important to save people first. Mario and Grover, who were stationed on the edge of the cliff, threw the rope in a panic and went to rescue their brothers. The three giants, the bi-footed Demon King, the silver-scaled pangolin, and the Great White, were also in a hurry to save people. Alice's 100 kobolds helped a lot. In a hurry, they gathered up a lot of equipment. Pull up an old man. In this, occasionally, rocks and other accidents hit the miners, but surprisingly, whenever this time, their ropes swayed, and they would avoid danger in a clever way. Among them, Grandpa Martin encountered an irresistible danger. When a big rock with a diameter of 2 meters smashed it directly. There was a gap in the middle of the rock, and Martin just avoided it. Thank you for the blessing of the goddess of luck. Grandpa Martin chanted the name of God. Quietly discovered that the lucky red rope on his wrist was gone. Alice showed her great power in the mutation, transformed into a half-dragon, spewed dragon breath, and burned to gravel. When encountering a mudslide, a dragon flame bomb was sprayed over. Its firepower was so powerful that the grandfathers were shocked. In addition, the gold miners are all veterans, each with a detonator. With a rumbling explosion, all the crew safely exited the 100-meter platform. And away from the edge of the cliff, he hid in the periphery of the Jurassic forest with many treasures. What's going on? The canyon is collapsing. As if recalling some bad memory, Grandpa Jack scratched his head. Isn't it because we dug too hard and shook the foundation, that's why it collapsed? Another Grandpa Tom guessed. Obviously, they've had this experience before. There was sadness in Alice's eyes. It wasn't the grandfather's digging, but the mine owner's brother making trouble in the canyon, causing a series of butterfly effects. Alice never dreamed that Yi Bai would go 5 kilometers deep, which was a number she couldn't even imagine. And in the process of the canyon collapse, Yi Bai has tried his best to drag out the 5-meter gate of hell, and another 5 meters is stuck in the stone wall. This is a door-shaped relief that seems to be carved out of bronze. Up and down, left and right, there are hundreds of ghosts in hell, and the ecological environment of the hell plane is layer upon layer. This appearance alone is absolutely worthy of the name of a world-class prop. You're crazy, this is not something you can get your hands on. When the surrounding earth shook, the lava Balrog felt that this human was crazy. For your own selfish desires, do you want to destroy the entrance and exit of this abyss? Humans, your greed makes us demons ashamed. Quote, after speaking, he did not hesitate. Instead, he wields a whip of hell that comes with the race. But when the Balrog was puzzled, this time, it was an attack that he didn't care about, but he was even avoided by this human being. Moreover, he continued to pull the gate of hell, and he was about to pull it out. Yi Bai felt that his hands were hot, and the gate of hell seemed to be constantly awakening as he was excavating. The demons on the bronze relief came to life and were smirking at themselves. It's a long story, but in fact, only 5 seconds passed, and Yi Bai almost pulled out the gate of hell. The 2 attacks from the Balrog just now, no matter which one hit Yi Bai head-on, will definitely kill Yi Bai in an instant. But the newly awakened top-level knowledge and color helped a lot, in the future of countless deaths. Help him grab the only surviving future route. Dancing with death, evading the whip of the Balrog. Finally out. In an ecstasy, the 10-meter-high bronze relief, the Gate of Hell, fell into Yi Bai's hands. He didn't dare to delay the slightest, and wanted to quickly bring the Gate of Hell into the system space. But the depressing discovery, still can't accept it. It's a statue, and it's a door, why can't you get in each one? Is it because the level is too high? The depressed Yi Bai could only hug the Gate of Hell, decisively enter the state of the speed of light, and head upwards at a speed of 1.5. Slip away, see you by fate. Yi Bai thought well, but the epic flame demon behind him was extremely furious. Human, your actions are so stupid that I laugh. Whoa! A pair of demon wings appeared behind the Balrog, fluttering the flames, and suddenly chased Yi Bai. He's not going to let this human go. Congratulations on your successful acquisition of the mysterious world-class item, the Gate of Hell. Serious warning, you are being hunted down. Perhaps there is still a chance to throw down the Gate of Hell, kneel and surrender. Yi Bai was traveling at the speed of light, traveling thousands of miles in an instant, and the reminders in his ears were ignored. But the breath of death was getting closer. And when he saw the familiar scenery, the collapsed 100-meter platform, he saw the destined future, that is, the furious flame demon didn't give himself a chance. The endless flames of hell enveloped me and burned to nothingness. This is not the 2 strikes that were evaded at first, but the real killer move of an epic demon. The probability of his dodging is determined to be 0. Just like a human being in the center of a nuclear explosion, even if he sees the next 5 seconds, he will be dead. Yi Bai, who embraced the Gate of Hell, had seen the afterglow of the sunset on the edge of the cliff, and he shouted angrily. Don't push me. What about forcing you? The lava Balrog, who was chasing after him, also flew up with a wing. Seeing the tragic situation around him, many treasures were looted, and he was even more angry. Yi Bai exited the speed of light state at this time. The 20-meter giant of light still has no deterrent effect on the 100-meter lava giant. Yi Bai threw the Gate of Hell in his arms to the edge of a cliff not far away, and sighed. You brought this on your own, and if you don't leave a way out for others, don't blame me for being ruthless. Lava Balrog didn't take his threat seriously. A mere silver creature can escape such a long distance, which has broken his cognition. But this time it wasn't so lucky. I saw that with the whip of hell in the left hand of the Balrog swung out. The neighborhood seems to be reduced to hell lava, and the raging flames burn all the surrounding materials, including space. What is that monster? It's a big one, more than 100 meters long. How did the mine owner turn into a giant? He can't beat the other side. This is bad. The gold miners, Alice and the others hiding in the forest looked at the mouth of the canyon, and they were hot. 2 figures, one black and one white, flew out, and the complexion changed at that time. It's the upper demon of hell, the Balrog, and this one is too tall, I can't see through it. When seeing the Balrog, Alice's body reacted automatically, and small red dragon scales appeared on the surface of her body to resist. Just when Alice was going to take the risk to go to support, everyone was stunned. I saw, on the edge of the cliff, facing the nirvana of the Balrog. Yi Bai didn't flinch or retreat, instead he opened his hands and said with a slightly distressed voice. Throw the universe. Jingle, jingle, accompanied by a melodious sound of copper coins, the sound of wallets entering the account, the surrounding music is automatically accompanied by celebratory music. At the same time, the dusky sky, which was already approaching the sunset, suddenly turned golden with Yi Bai as the center. It's the kind of local tyrant gold, especially with the temperament of the nouveau riche, that makes people think of money at first glance. What? Lava Balrog was alert in his heart, but he didn't think the other party could cause any changes. But what happened next completely overturned the 3 views of the flame demon. I saw that Yi Bai's giant of light was also dyed into local tyrant gold, which seemed to be the god of wealth in the temple. At the same time, golden copper coins flying from the sky flew out from his body, and thousands of coins were mixed with gold ingots, and they blasted towards the flame demon together. The Balrog has never seen such an outrageous attack in his life. Most importantly, the realm of his own hell was forced back. The golden copper coins, gold ingots, and gold coins seemed to have their own aiming. With lightning speed, it hit the flame demon with precision. He originally thought that these were just nihilistic special effects, but the moment they hit, The heartache that came from his heart reminded him of the sad experience of being crushed by the big devil in his childhood. It hurts me too. What the hell is this? The lava Balrog is no longer the cold and proud before, but instead is smashed by money. The proud hellfire, the flaming skin, the muscles and physique that have been tempered, have not played a role, and the head smashed by the gold ingot is bloody. The copper coins passed through the body, and even the devil's wings were killed. The Balrog is going crazy. It feels like every blow that the body takes is like hitting the soul directly. What is even more frightening is that his own vitality is falling at an alarming rate. He felt that the world was crazy and he was going to hell. The lava flame demon roared, and the sea of fire rose from behind him. He was burning blood, trying to escape from here. But then a scene that made him despair happened. A big treasure chest made of gold came crashing down, covering him all at once, isolating him from any means of escape. Let me out, what the hell is this? The lava demon is trapped in the treasure chest, using all his powers. Unfold the devil's real body, and punch the box in the east and flatten it in the west. There was a lot of movement and clanging, but it didn't break the defense and was locked inside. Yi Bai is like the god of wealth and scattered treasures at this time. Don't look at his handsome face. But he watched his wealth plummet in a straight line. His eyelids are twitching. From the total wealth of 1.1 million, more than 100 tons of gold, the speed of light turned into smoke. The gold miners on the side were dumbfounded watching the development. Boxes of jewels, piles of gold like mountains, all around them vanished into ashes before their eyes, turning into streaks of golden light and vanishing. Grandpa Martin burst into tears on the spot. This was his life, and he was only dug up under great mental pressure. Don't worry, Grandpas, this is the bottom trick of the mine owner's brother. The more money, the stronger the power, but I don't know how much it will cost this time. Alice looked strange. Floating in the air, Yi Bai, who was still throwing money, could only sigh with emotion. The epic lava demon is worthy of being a super boss. He even threw away 200,000 fortune, which is estimated to be no less than 300 billion in star coins, and he still insisted. Of course, if it wasn't for Chenkin's throw, with his current strength, he couldn't fight against him by conventional means at all. It is indeed the treasure of the town store. With a rumbling sound, the lava flame demon headed out of the treasure chest with bloodshed. His eyes were red, a pair of proud horns were broken in half, his red mane fluttered, and blood was splashed all over his body. More like a devil than a devil. Despicable human, kill me. The Balrog seemed to be crazy, flapping the tattered demon wings to find Yi Bai desperately. Yi Bai gritted his teeth. It seemed that this matter could not be good. Raise. Whoa, with the sound of money falling like a landslide and tsunami in my ears. The once again strengthened Chenkin throw gave special effects that no one expected. I saw that there seemed to be a hole in the sky above the canyon, accompanied by a pleasant tinkling sound. Countless gold and copper coins, gold ingots, and gold coins were unloaded from the cave, forming a spectacular golden river, rushing towards the lava demon. Really smash you to death with money. In the voice of the Balrog's grief and anger, he was suppressed by gold and silver jewelry here. This time, money formed a mountain of gold, crushing it to the death. A steady stream of gold ingots came in the cave, increasing the weight. The spectacle is breathtaking. Of course, the price of such a luxurious feast was that Yi Bai's $1 million wealth plummeted at an alarming rate. The chat room at the moment is crazy. We all saw a miracle happen with our own eyes. Everyone, go online and see the fortune list. Yi Bai's wealth on the list is dropping at 100,000. Gosh, he's broke. The equivalent of hundreds of tons of gold was consumed in less than a second. I've never seen such a picture of a local tyrant. What did Yi Shen do? Crazy. Has he spilled so much money? Could it be that someone was robbed and taken away? Even if the gold was thrown into the sea in piles and piles, the speed was not so exaggerated. For 3 days, the chat room has never been so lively. A mine owner who had never bubbled came out to discuss, guessing what happened to Yi Bai. They got the public knowledge. Yi Bai encounters a disaster, and can only rely on money to eliminate the disaster. Sure enough, people can't be too smooth, and God can't see it. In the last hour of going back, he was given such an out. If I watched my tens of billions of wealth disappear, I would definitely collapse and cry. Quote. Haha, I didn't expect a twist in the previous bet. If this goes on, I am afraid that Johnson will win. Before Yi Bai's sharp-edged situation, many second-generation mine owners and aspiring mine owners were suppressed. Under his light, they did not have any chance to play. After finally catching this spectacle, all of them began to sing badly. Even Johnson ran back and said, "In the words of you Orientals, this is self-inflicted sin and cannot live. Even God is helping me." In the case of widespread bad-mouthing, Mu Lingwei stood up to defend him. There must be cause and effect. A drink and a peck are relative. He lost so much wealth, and perhaps brought more gains. Quote. People scoffed at this, who didn't know that the will of the world would have countermeasures against personal wealth. The richer you are, the more danger you encounter. Witnessed by millions, Yi Bai's wealth value was at the peak of more than 1.1 million, and in a few seconds, it dropped to below 500,000. And this is equivalent to the treasures such as Fushu, Shoshu, Platinum Star and so on. At this moment, Yi Bai was both distressed for money and marveled at the blood of the epic boss. 600,000 gold coins didn't kill you, you're too hung up. At this moment, the original Dark Canyon was filled with countless money. The lava Balrog, suppressed by Jin Shan, still resisted at first. I don't know what earth-shattering talent was used, the burning gold melted, the gold coins flew out. But this is of no use. In an attempt to leave the flesh and blood to be reborn to escape, burn the blood, open the space channel. Using all means, still can't change the fate of being besieged and killed. He originally liked these golden treasures, and in the hell plane, let his subordinates collect contributions. But at this moment he had never hated gold so much. Hurry up and die for me. Yi Bai wanted to cry but had no tears, and this wave of adventures was a big loss. Only got a statue worth one, and the gates of hell. If the attribute of the gate of hell is not good, then he will lose blood this time. Following a series of jingles, after Yi Bai's wealth dropped below 500,000. The surrounding flames are gradually extinguished, and the arrogance is arrogant, and the Balrog, the super boss in the night's story, is gradually dying. When the last gold ingot pressed on the top of the golden mountain became the last straw, and the flame demon breath completely disappeared. At the same time, the gold and silver special effects piled up into mountains began to dissipate at the speed of light. The frightened Yi Bai finally breathed a sigh of relief when he saw the fortune dropping to 450,000 points. If it wasn't for the hard work of the grandfathers and 1 million tons of gold in one day, this wave would have almost turned over the window. 5. And as the special effect disappeared, the corpse of the Balrog that was beaten into tatters gradually revealed. Suddenly, Yi Bai felt something in his heart. A multicolored aurora sword flew out of his body and plunged into the Balrog's corpse, madly swallowing the flames of hell within it. After paying such a heavy price, it's finally time to reap the rewards. Yi Bai has accomplished a miracle that has never been accomplished in history. With the body of silver, beheading the epic hell flame demon, this is a record that makes all living beings tremble. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.